Hey guys, James here again. This is going to be what if Luffy was the greatest prodigy in history. So basically in this what if, Luffy would be the greatest prodigy in history. And now, I've already done a series and a few redos of what if Naruto was the greatest prodigy in history. The redos never did as well as the original, which I'm honestly proud of. I don't really care if they don't do well, as long as people like the original, because it wasn't a good what if in my opinion, but still, I put a lot of effort and time into it, and a lot of redos. A lot of redoing that original video, but then on a good one that got 67,000 views. But yeah, the Goku one also did a decent one its first day. This what if, I'm hoping it will do well. Then once the Bleach anime is finished, I'm probably just going to rewatch Bleach itself and then just do a what if Ichigo was greatest prodigy in history video. Because Ichigo is already strong enough, and I honestly think if he becomes even more of a prodigy, actually Ichigo could probably already kill Goku with his spiritual pressure, because Goku doesn't have it. He relies on the spirit of others to fuel a spirit bomb, so he doesn't have any spiritual energy of his own. But if Ichigo were to flex his, I think he can honestly kill Goku. But yeah, so if Ichigo were to basically train a lot more in this prodigy what if that I'm going to do when Bleach anime is finished, he could beat Goku without even using spiritual pressure. I'm telling you that right now. So yeah, he could already beat Goku himself again because Goku can't see him. But yeah, or sense him. He doesn't have any energy. Okay, so back to this. So, Luffy is born, greatest prodigy in history, whatever. He meets Shanks, that goes the same way. He meets Higuma, sure. Everything goes the same way till Luffy was put with Ace and Sabo. Luffy's put with Ace and Sabo, he has enough common sense to actually realize that Ace does not want to be around him. So if he does instead actually go around the forest, trying to find his own things to do. Actually leads him meeting the king of the forest, fighting that giant bear thing, and he sees Nagari watching. Goes over to Nagari, asks what he's doing here watching. Hey, old man, what are you doing here watching this? You should get away. It's dangerous. Nagari says, nah, I've been in far worse. But also, I'm going to make sure that they don't kill each other. They're the reason that the forest is so peaceful. At least on this side of it, where I live. He's like, oh, really? So if they maintain it, why are they fighting? Nagari's like, to see which one's stronger, and who the weakest one dies. But certain animals respect the bear, certain animals respect the king. But, I mean, make sure they both don't die, so the balance is kept. Now with that, the little bear's out to win, till Nagari deflects his Conqueror's Haki, and the bear retreats, the king is left alone, and the fight is left at a draw, like always. This Nagari asks Luffy why he's so deep in the forest. Luffy just says, he's just out exploring because his brother doesn't want to be around him. You heard that? Luffy doesn't care if Ace doesn't want to be around him. He already considers Ace his brother. Well, Garp is worried that Luffy's a pretty smart kid for his age. Actually, Luffy's about as intelligent as a basic middle schooler. So, yeah. And he's 7 years old, so having intelligence of a middle schooler is decently impressive for his age. But then again, they're smarter kids, so, yeah. But, Luffy just mainly proceeds to, talk to Nagari, and eventually Nagari began walking away, but Luffy asks if he can come with him. Now, Luffy doesn't know that, he assumes that Nagari is just a random old man. The Conqueror's thing kind of scared Luffy, but he thought it was always a technique that Nagari could only do once a day. That's what he's suspecting. So if Nagari truly wanted to hurt him, he'd handle him, he thinks. In reality, not no one in the East Blue could handle Nagari. Not someone who use all three forms of Haki. But yeah. But Nagari brings Luffy to his little place where he's building a boat. And, Luffy actually asks Nagari if he can go on the boat. Luffy be inspecting it, pointing out what's weak, what's not, and then impress Nagari. Nagari actually is telling Luffy about his old days as a pirate and how he fought Gold Roger. But Luffy actually does realize that Nagari's not lying, and is like, oh, so you fought Gold Roger and you lost, right? Nagari's like, yeah, but I got a lot stronger, but I still think I'd lose by a landslide, because I'm old now. Like, oh, well, you're still impressive either way. You sure off the bear just a glare. Well, you knocked it out, basically. Then Luffy and Nagari proceed to talk to Luffy, mainly just bowing down to Nagari like a deity. And, Nagari's like, alright, how about this? You get to work on my ship and build it with me, and in return, I'll train you a bit. I'll direct you to the building, then I'll just train you. Luffy agrees to this, and they proceed to do this for around 2 weeks. 2 weeks with Luffy learning a lot faster than most people would. Learns a lot faster than basically everyone can. He's able to actually finish the whole ship in 2 weeks by himself, without Ace and Sabo helping him at all. But it did take hours of non-stop work, not even eating, drinking, or anything. Luffy would return home to like 10 p.m. So yeah, or return to the bandits till 10 p.m. They question where he was at, but he says, I was building stuff. So yeah. Now once the ship is finished, now Luffy begins training with Nagari. It took Luffy 1 week to build the ship, now 1 week of training. And Nagari trains Luffy, and Luffy is able to enhance his speed greatly. Luffy has his Doflamingo under decent control, just has no name techniques or no decent techniques. So he has to learn how to use the techniques. But yeah, now eventually we go on to Luffy meeting Ace and Sabo, who are basically just, first, this one Sabo's basically kidnapped by Bluejam, and Ace being looking for Luffy to help him get Sabo back. But he came across Luffy trying with Nagari after Ace ran around for like 2 hours looking for Luffy. But Ace found Luffy trying with Nagari, realized that Luffy was a lot stronger than him and Sabo combined. And Luffy at this point, he has Gun Pistol, basically all techniques he has in the East Blue that aren't. He has just all techniques he has in the East Blue. He learned them that fast and found which ones fitted him the best. But Luffy does eventually go with Ace because Ace did call out to Luffy. And with this, Luffy goes on to see Bluejam's hideout. Luffy says he can beat Bluejam pretty easily. Not Bluejam, Pochemi. With that, Luffy just takes a step back real quick, runs up his arm, and he also goes Gomu no pistol. He fires it through the wall, and it hits Pochemi right in the back of the head, knocking him out on impact. Luffy jumped to the hole he made in the wall, and began taking on the bandits with Ace, making sure no bullets hit Ace, and Ace makes sure that no sharp things hit Luffy. Luffy takes bullets and maces and stuff for Ace, or not maces, because they have spikes. Make sure that nothing blunt or nothing blunt or bullets don't hit Ace, and in turn Ace makes sure that blades don't hit Luffy. Now, if this issue combined, Luffy already knowing how to work with Ace pretty well, even though they've never once talked. They're able to beat everyone in there in under 5 minutes. They untie Sabo, and Luffy is walking away, going to training. Ace asks Luffy to hang out, but Luffy says, nah, Ace really have interest in him before, why does he have one now? All he did was do Ace a favor. Now Ace really did realize that Ace does not like Luffy, he only wanted Luffy to do a favor for him. So yeah. With this, we should go on to see Luffy, who goes to Nagari again and trains with him. Now, Ace actually begins wondering, how can you make Luffy like him? Because Ace says something that doesn't like Luffy, and Luffy's like, alright, then if you don't like me, I don't like you, cool. So, yeah. So he's trying to basically find out stuff about Luffy, in private, trying to make sure, spy on Luffy occasionally. Usually able to figure out somewhat what Luffy likes, and, that could persist of training and building. So yeah, so Ace actually spends time building, and Luffy saw him building, and actually begins giving Ace some props, some tips and stuff on it. That's how Ace kind of made Luffy play. This kind of made Luffy play into his hand of making Luffy like him, and it worked perfectly. It perfectly worked. So yeah, so Ace was able to get in the building, which made Luffy like him. So yeah, now eventually Ace had been introduced to Nagari by Luffy, and so did Sabo. And they all train Nagari, but only training, no building. As they train, Luffy's actually the one that Nagari trains the most, because Luffy stays there a bit later than they do. And Luffy actually developed a lot more techniques. So yeah, pause. But we move on to basically the whole Bluejam incident. So Luffy, Ace, and Sabo will be in the Great Terminal as they want to build some things. Ace had kind of built like a wooden stick, but not kind of made like a wooden staff. He carved it, making sure it was perfect. But the materials, so Luffy has an idea for Ace's wooden staff. Sabo also has an idea to make a makeshift sword, at least a dagger. Then in the Great Terminal, when suddenly Sabo is grabbed from behind by Bluejam himself, and immediately Luffy just turns around asking what the hell his problem is, and Bluejam's like, you guys beat up Pochemi, so how about this? I'm gonna take what seems like the smartest one here. Because you guys obviously don't have any sense, because he's the one that seemed nervous going here. And as Bluejam's kind of going on a monologue, suddenly Luffy disappeared from his point of view, and he's kicked right in the temple. Bluejam had dropped to his knees, basically dizzy. And Ace said, "You talk too much," and slammed his staff down on Bluejam's head full force, knocking him out. So suddenly one of Bluejam's men jumped in, trying to say, "Hey, the boss finished talking." But Luffy just says, "Shut up. Go, no pistol." Hitting the guy right in the face with it, sending the guy flying back. Then they drop all Bluejam's men, and Luffy says, "Bad guys supposed to talk that much? They're annoying." Ace says, probably, or he read too much comics. He just laughs, saying, yeah, probably that. Luffy, Ace, and Sabo all head back to Nagari as they got the materials and begin training. Building stuff. Ace had made a staff, and Luffy's idea for it is basically, Ace will basically kind of like, will put steel around like the wooden parts of it, then wrap it in bandages so no one can actually tell what it was, but it's multiple layers of bandages. So Ace couldn't really feel the steel in it, so it made it more comfortable. Still, when you hit, well, there's a lot more blunt force behind it, but there's also steel, so it works. So Ace kind of did it like that. Sabo was actually able to somewhat. He's able to make more like a spear than a sword like he wanted to, but still the spear's doing good. But yeah. So with this, well, eventually they just move on, and Bluejam's crew had kind of questioned how they got took down so fast by these kids. Sorry about that. I'll take a drink real quick. But, well, Luffy and them kind of go to the Great Terminal whenever they want to, but then they fight Bluejam and his crew, and they win pretty easily. Like, they win in seconds. Like, this Luffy at this point, like, he's like barely even not barely. He's 7 years old. It's been like 2 months in the Great Terminal. He's already on par with East Blue Luffy. So yeah. So he had the idea to develop those techniques that much. But eventually we should move on, going all the way on to see Luffy, who, well, first, I guess the next important thing would be Sabo's dad trying to get him back, because they still broke into the Great Terminal. Not Great Terminal. Broke into the Gold Kingdom trying to take their stuff. Luffy did recommend, like, they go throughout the alleys just so they sneak around. So they stuck in the Gold Kingdom occasionally. Dadan already knew that Luffy was looking after them, as he was the one with the most sense. So he made sure that Luffy's the smartest one out of all the bandits and Ace and Sabo. So Dadan trusted Luffy to look after his brothers. He may have been the youngest, but still, Ace and Sabo somewhat used terms that would you mainly refer to for a big brother. So Luffy's the youngest, but still, he's referred to as big brother because he looks after them the most. So yeah, but they kind of stick to the alleys of the Gold Kingdom and continue breaking into small shops. That's how they get their stuff, and yeah. One day, Luffy had realized that there's a shop owner out of town, and happens to be a blacksmith. Now, Luffy actually doesn't care about stealing, because they go to the Gold Kingdom, they're all dickheads, and they made a Great Terminal themselves, so they reap what they sow. So, Luffy broke into the blacksmith shop, and took out literally all of his gear. Then they brought it over to Nagari, and not quite sure they got it. Luffy says, I don't know, some guy had a shop broken into, and the whole shop was destroyed, so he's selling stuff, and this was one of the some things he was selling. Nagari asked, how much did you buy it for? In all honesty, some guy bought it, and then, he put it somewhere that we took it. It was a lie, but also the truth at the same time. He stole it, but some guy bought it, and he left it behind somewhere. We just took it from there. He doesn't seem to notice it at all, so there's no use that's going to come out of it. Nagari says, just don't steal everything. They set up their stuff, and that's how they learn how to build things. Making Luffy actually very qualified handyman and blacksmith. But Sabo's dad does still take Sabo the same route. But immediately, when Bluejam was like, what do you going to do now? Luffy immediately went for a headbutt. Bluejam was the guy that dodged it. Then realized that Luffy's head didn't come back. There's his neck had stretched out, and the guy that's when Luffy got headbutted in the back of the head by Luffy. They hit the ground, and before Bluejam put a gun to Ace's head, Luffy was focused on his leg, hitting Bluejam right in the forehead, making him do a full 360 in the air, dropping Ace. Ace had picked up Bluejam's gun, then shooting it right at Sabo's dad, hitting Sabo's dad right in the shoulder. The guy that's holding Sabo dropped him, immediately going for Ace, but Ace shot him in the leg, and Ace proceeded to just fire on everyone there besides Ace and Luffy. Not Ace and Luffy, but besides Luffy and Sabo. I messed that term up. But he just fired on everyone. And actually, everyone had ran away. So everyone in the Gold Kingdom being patched up, and they couldn't question who shot him. Sabo's dad then says, Sabo did. And Sabo's dad had thinks on this, why is Sabo being crushed by these kids? Then thought of it. Sabo found someone he cares about a lot more. So to actually make his family forget about Sabo, he made up a lie that would make them hate Sabo completely. And that was that Sabo shot him. So, yeah. This one, Sabo's dad was like, alright then, you don't like me? Like me, I'll make sure that our family can never want to take you back, even if you want to come back. So he said Sabo. For this, Luffy does realize Sabo's dad would probably find some way to spinning on them, spin the gunshot on like Sabo or someone, because Luffy is very smart for his age. Now his battle intelligence is going up, and so is his intelligence on people that are like Sabo's dad. So that's what he's suspecting, that Sabo's dad will either lie about Sabo, or basically just lie about lie about Sabo, lie about him, lie about someone. So yeah. But eventually we should go on to see so we just kind of go on to just see just Luffy actually telling Sabo that Sabo can never return home after this, because his dad's like the kind of scumbag that would try to make a lie that Sabo was the one that shot him, or that Bluejam was. Like, he was backstabbed by you or the guy he hired. Sabo just realized that that's the kind of person his dad is. He's like, yeah, I kind of guessed that. My dad's not a good guy. He's like, alright, so what do you want to do now? And Luffy's like, Sabo's like, I don't know yet. With Luffy and Sabo just kind of just talking for a bit, because they don't know what to do. But eventually they sort of had to just keep training. But they train a lot harder. So as they keep training, well, nonetheless, Luffy just mainly proceeded to, well, how do I say it? He needs to be a lot stronger in case guards ever come for him and, well, will come for Sabo mainly, and Luffy. Because there's no reason to get Ace. So just so guards don't get involved, he's trained a lot harder than he usually does. But, yeah. Pause real quick. Alright. So, eventually Luffy's kept on training a lot harder, and they kind of kept breaking the to-go kingdom, taking everything they can. And one thing they took is just, well, a few books, mainly, because Luffy's like, Ace stupid, you need books. You think, well, Ace is being the stupid one. It's like, hey, I'm the oldest, respect me. It's like, no, you're the dumbest. So, Luffy bought Ace, he stole some books for Ace. And those books ended up being like how to build everything, how to build stuff, how to fight, everything. And basic education books. Luffy, Ace didn't have basic education. Luffy had common sense and relied upon that. But also just the type of people he knew and experienced, and his own common sense. That's how Luffy got around. And it worked through most of his life. Luffy doesn't have basic education, despite being as smart as a middle schooler. That Nagi actually told them, steal as much books as you need, make sure they're in basic education, building, and fighting. Those are the three things that you need. But Luffy kind of went overboard one day, broke into the library, and took around half the books. It was nighttime, no stores were open, and Luffy happened to have a giant tarp. He put tons of books in that giant tarp, put it back, then put them on the ship. We went back, kept doing that for like an hour or two, then half the library was gone. It was a big crime in the Gold Kingdom, but none of the books were important, they could buy more. Still, they're wondering who broke in the library that much that they got all the books. And Nagri questioned Luffy where he got all the books. But the reason that Nagri didn't leave when the ship is fully built, he kind of thinks of them as his own kids now, because they always help him and train, and he trains them. Plus, Ace is like the one that needs the most improvement because he's dumb. So, yeah. Like, Ace is just stupid, and that leaves him with the one that needs the most improvement. Luffy fights as good as a basic adult. Fights better than a basic adult. But fights better than most Marine captains and commodores. That's how good Luffy is, and he's not even 8 yet. But eventually, Sabo goes through all these books, giving them basic education for a school kid. Sabo already had that. Then they actually learn how to fight. Luffy actually learning various martial arts. Luffy understood these martial art books a lot faster, so he trained with them by himself. So he proceeds to train with these 2 books. So as he trains using these martial art books, eventually when he's done with them, he gives them back while his brothers use the other books and everything. So yeah. But yeah. Now we move on past this, going all the way on to just when Ace and Sabo would leave. Now some of the books they got on building and being a shipwright, those are mainly what the books were. Well, Luffy already helped Ace a bit with learning how to build stuff and being a shipwright. Now let Ace actually learning how to build a striker, and he built it himself, and he sailed away. Striker was actually a bit bigger than this one. Actually, she kind of like the size of a canoe, not the size of just fitting Ace's feet. The size of 1 or 2 canoes put together. That Ace would sail off on the striker. So Ace sails off on the striker. Eventually, Sabo had built his own ship, and he sailed away as well. Ace would get his like Marinomi and then use it to fire off and fire away. House probably got his ship, sails away once he turned 17, leaving Luffy alone for 3 years. But Nagori, by the way, had already just left on his own once Ace had left, so yeah. But yeah, once one that was most improved had left first, then he was cool. Once the one that needed the most improvement had left, it's cool. So he's going to see Sabo leave, and Luffy was alone for 3 years, but he keeps on training. As he keeps on training, he would use the martial art book he still has, books he still has, and as he keeps on training with them, well, Luffy actually began to master these martial arts, these various martial arts. Luffy had mastered at least 10 of them already. But now with him 3 years are up, Luffy had mastered around 20 martial arts completely. And that allowed Luffy to actually tap into observation hockey with how much he trained with this, and how much it relied on certain aspects of a person. His 5 senses, his speed, his strength, his intelligence. All that was or is relied upon in these martial arts. So yeah. Now with this, well, Luffy had tapped on observation hockey and learned how to use it decently, but not like perfectly. Like you can't use it like I don't see put him at like probably how good it is and like at like probably as good as it is in fucking Fishman Island, around that level of it. So yeah. But so yeah. But yeah, we just going to see Luffy, who leaves. He didn't build his own ship. He didn't want to. He just wanted to find a ship along the way. Luffy just goes on, and he goes all the way on to basically goes all the way to just, well, first he meets Alvida's crew, beats them all up. He won pretty easily, honestly. From Kobe, brings Kobe to Shelltown. Alvida's crew, and when he fights them, isn't even worth it. When he broke out of that barrel, he just proceeds to break them down one by one till he kicks Alvida's being sent flying. But yeah. So when Luffy just goes all the way on to bring Kobe to Shelltown, they meet the villagers. Everything goes the same way. So Luffy had met Zoro. When Zoro says no to joining Luffy's crew, Luffy says, "All right, how about this? If I beat every single Marine in there, you join my crew." Zoro says, "That's not even an accomplishment. I could do that." And then bullets fired right at Luffy. Suddenly Luffy just turned around, grabbed a bullet, saying, "Is that impressive enough?" It says, "Kind of." Luffy suddenly flicked a bullet, sending it flying to the guy that shot at him, being Helmeppo, but Helmeppo was short, so Luffy had missed. Says, "Oh, you're small. I forgot. Well, I forgot. I didn't know you were short." Then Luffy appeared between Helmeppo's guards, kicking them both into the wall. This time Helmeppo's head in the ground full force, knocking him out. Allowing Zoro to actually eat the rice balls because they were both unconscious. So all 3 of them were unconscious. Helmeppo and his guards. Zoro eats his rice balls, and they thank Luffy and the girl. Then Luffy had given Kobe a gun, saying, "Fire it, just go to the middle of town, fire it. Then I'll make a noise so you can run and hide. It'll get the Marines to go outside." Kobe agrees. As he runs, grabbing a pistol, firing it into the air multiple times over, till Luffy had someone made like a loud crashing, like a loud banging noise, and that Kobe's like, "Oh, that's a signal." So he ran and hid. So yeah. Not a lot of the Marines coming out with their guns aimed around, seeing one of those guys knocked out, and seeing Zoro just there. But there's rights on his face. The question where he got the rights, but he says he won't tell. Morgan was like eventually pushed by this and like, "Oh, what? Kill him or something." Like, no, he still has like 3 days left. He's like, "Fine, I'll do it myself." He walks down, saying, "You interrupted my statue ceremony. Where'd you get the rice?" It was like, "None of your business." But then suddenly, Zoro pulls his arm free, grabbing Morgan, and body slamming him, like just slams him on the ground full force, like a wrestling slam. Then when Zoro had gotten rice balls, he also got some strength back, but also Luffy had loosened the ropes enough for Zoro to just pull on them lightly, and they'd fall off. No one had noticed this. But if we're wondering where Luffy is, he's dead, actually, just hanging on the side of the Marine base, just watching this go down. So yeah. He kind of stretches his arm in, grabbing Zoro's swords and pulling them back out. Pulling his arm back out, just holds on to the three of them. But Zoro has bodies that Morgan, full-hearted, knocked him out. He did that right as Helmut had woken up, which questions how his dad's unconscious like that in one go. Suddenly, Zoro had turned around with his mouth open, and he caught three of his blades with the sheaths, following suit. But he had dodged all the sheaths, then dashing right at all the Marines, yelling Onigiri, cutting a lot of them down in one go, and then just cut them down over and over again. By the time he's done, all the guys have been defeated, and Luffy had dropped down, saying, that was really slow. Wait, pause. But, once Zoro had beat up Morgan, took down all the guards, Luffy said that Zoro did it too slow. Zoro goes, alright, how fast can you do it? He says, I can expand my limbs. What do you think? Zoro says, what? Luffy says, Luffy just said, how do I explain it to Ace? Make body big, destroy large area. And Zoro's like, oh, I guess that makes more sense. Yeah, Luffy explained his gear third to Ace like that. Make body big, destroy large area. And Zoro got it like that the same way. He's decently intelligent, but still stupid. So, yeah. He's decently smart for his age, but the way Luffy goes over his techniques requires very, very simple explanations. So, make big, destroy large area. Let's move on, going all the way on to basically just like, Zoro and Luffy leave. Luffy offers Kobe a place on a ship, and Kobe actually asks if Luffy's serious. Because Luffy has nothing but good to Kobe. Kobe was supposed to be a Marine, though. Luffy actually does tell Kobe that Kobe's someone that he thinks has the most value on his ship. Or what do you want? Someone with a lot of value. Kobe's pretty smart. He knows the way around a ship, and Luffy is still kind of working on his way around the ship. He could use the help. But Kobe would thank Luffy for offering him, and he lets Luffy lets Kobe join because Kobe had said sure he'll join. So yeah, Luffy just sweet talked Kobe into joining the crew. As they leave, first they get some food, and then as they leave, the Marines thank Luffy for defeating Morgan, or thank Zoro for defeating Morgan, but they asked Luffy's role in this. Zoro's like, oh, he kind of fed me, and then made sure that my strings were loose. And this when they asked how Luffy got around them without them knowing, and how Zoro got his swords. He goes, oh, you guys should just pay attention to your surroundings. I was able to sneak around and grab his swords in the middle of the chaos. Well, you guys were retreating outside at least. So Luffy, Kobe, Zoro leave. And when they leave, eventually they come across, Orangetown. But Zoro and Kobe can sail a lot faster by the time Luffy arrives, but he tried to grab onto the bird. He still has his Luffy moment, so he did grab onto it. But by the time he actually is close to the shore, he can just squeezes it and the bird falls. So yeah, Luffy just squeezed hard enough, and the bird is his now. Zoro and Kobe with these two, Kobe trained, they say that at Shelltown for an extra day or two just to train Kobe for a bit. And if Kobe trained, he did get a decent physical boost. So they both just sail as fast as possible. When the guys tried to stop them, Kobe picked up the paddle, hitting them both on the jaws full force, knocking them into the water, and they kept on sailing, spending not even more than 2 seconds on them. Kobe's like, just boom, boom, keep on sailing. By the time Luffy had landed, Kobe and Zoro are already in distance. He stretches his hand out to their ship, pulling them all the way to the shore. When he gets to the shore, Luffy jumped all the way onto a roof, pulling Zoro and Kobe up with him. Because he said that there's no one in town, so see something that's very disturbing. Sees Buggy screw with the girl in the cage, and they're kind of poking fun at her. So as they just watches the girl in the cage, she's being poked at with sticks, swords, everything. Luffy told Zoro to sneak around, and when you're close enough, use onigiri. Only guy poking at her with the sword being Kabaji. When Zoro's close enough, Luffy had pointed and did a thumbs up. Zoro immediately would yell onigiri, and Kabaji is cut down. Zoro on top of the cage. Suddenly Kobe is thrown by Luffy right at Moji, about to launch Richie at Zoro. But Kobe was thrown, and he just kind of held like a drop kick formation. Yes, not formation, form. And he lands his kick right on Kabaji, on Moji's jaw, sending Moji flying in a buggy. Kobe had landed. Richie was just still dazed. Kobe just ran, and well, he went for Richie's legs. Kobe can't hold much, but still he's able to somewhat flip Richie over, and sending Richie tumbling off the building. Kobe's panting, saying, "That was so heavy." Zoro says, good job. Zoro cut the cage all wide open, and yeah. It wasn't a sea stone cage or anything, just simple stone, and Zoro just cut it open. Or cut the top off, allowing Nami to get up. There's Zoro, who they are, and Zoro just says, "Pirates, but our Captain 1 wanted it for you because no one belongs in a cage." Well, at least he said that. I beg to differ, but still, he believes that. He's confused that Pirates said that no one belongs in a cage. Luffy landed right in front of her, and Buggy's like, "Hey, who the hell are you?" But before Luffy can answer, Buggy just punched in the chest by Luffy full force, being knocked out. That's one straight Luffy just had. He hit Buggy in the chest once and knocked him out. Buggy slumped over Luffy's fist, and he was unconscious. Luffy pulls his fist back, letting Buggy hit the ground. And the rest of Buggy screwed look at Luffy. But Zoro just proceeds to slice them all down using just one onigiri, then two onigiri. The last guy is just kicked off the building like Kobe. So, yeah. Luffy asks why they had arrested her, or not arrested her, but why they captured her. And she says that basically because she stole something from them, and then they did that to her. Like, now you learned your lesson. Luffy says, "Hey Zoro, Kobe, would it be a good idea to ransack their ship?" Kobe says, with how big it is and the town being empty, probably because of them, yeah, it's probably a lot of money on it. Luffy immediately jumped off, running to the ship, and he immediately began looting it until he actually had an idea. He's looking at Nami, and she's like, "Hey, it's all my money, don't take it." But nope, it's ours now. Finders keepers. But if you want a little bit of it, you paint the whole ship in one day. Oh, she's like, "What do you mean repaint it? It'd take forever. In one day?" Like, "Hey, Kobe, you got anything else to do?" Listen, Kobe's like, I have training to do." He's like, "With who? Me or Zoro?" He's like, "According to schedule, Zoro." Like, "Zoro, paint the ship with a girl. And Kobe, I'll train you tonight. Not tonight, but today." That Zoro's like, "Okay, Captain." And him and Nami began painting the ship, just bright, not bright, but dark red, around the same color as the pants here that you see Luffy wearing. So, like that same color of, yeah. So Luffy began training Kobe all day till the villagers had actually looked, seeing Buggy's crew was just defeated and they were on the ship tied up. And Buggy's just still unconscious because he was hit that hard. The villagers asked what they're doing and why they're like robbing the ship or anything, and why all their stuff is restored besides the money. Like, "Oh yeah, for the money here. You need to do like 2 bags of it," saying, "Sorry, but we need a lot more." So you just have that. You guys are trading 10, we're pirates. We don't have much money. The villagers asked, like, "Okay, that's okay, but why are you being nice to us? Like, and we're pirates, but we have morals, and that's dumping on the innocent. Just beat up people who we think deserve it, but also just do what we want. And we're giving you money because that's what we want to do." The mayor thanks Luffy and asks how they can repay Luffy. Just finish painting the ship red. It's like the village like, "All right, let's get painting." So they paint the ship. A little bit harder to paint the other side to turn red, but it works. Eventually, the ship is fully repainted, and now Buggy's crew. Well, Luffy built like a small log raft and then put them on it, and then just kick them out to sea. And that's how they all meet Alvida, not just Buggy. So as they all meet Alvida, eventually that's just kind of just happens. But then as the ship is now fully red, and the flag's taken off, and they go to help Luffy draw his Jolly Roger they wanted. They get the same shot at Jolly Roger, but it was finished a lot faster because a professional artist in the town did it. After that, the Jolly Roger put up, and Luffy thanked them. And then this is a legitimate pirate ship with everything they need on it. A good kitchen, a decent sized ship. And how small the Sunny is still compared to a lot of ships. Sunny's bigger than the Mary, sure. But Sunny's still very small compared to a lot of like major pirate ships, being like the kid pirate ship and all that. I don't think the Big Top is any different than that. I think the Big Top is still bigger than the Sunny, or about the same size as the Sunny. But going with a small choice, it's the same size. So Yeah. So Big Top is the same size as Sunny, and they have that ship. Big Top can fit, not Big Top, Sunny can fit Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, Nami, Chopper, Brook, Frankie, basically every single Straw Hat until they meet Jinbei, which Jinbei can probably still be fit into the ship, and so can like Otama and everything. But not Otama, but so can like Yamato possibly if she joins the crew. The Sunny is still pretty big enough to fit a lot of people, so yeah. So when they get the ship fully painted and everything, Luffy just says, well, what should we call the ship? And, well, the day is still going, but it's also just a really bright day. And to avoid me coming up with another name, it's just called the Sunny. Because, well, Luffy got his first official pirate ship on a sunny day. So, the Sunny. That's what they call it. They're okay with this. They get the rooms they want. I'm trying to get the biggest room, but Zoro and Kobe like, nope. That room goes to the captain. So Luffy gets his room, and then they get their rooms. Not using him like smallest room or anything, but she's like one of the smaller rooms because it's only just her. And Zoro needs a lot of room to train because, well, he has swords, he has weights, he has a lot of stuff that he needs to go in his room. Well, Nami, her room is basically just everything that she has. Like, yeah, this room's pretty nice and everything I need. It's bigger than my room at Arlong Park at least. So yeah. She got like there's like a lot of storage rooms, but then Trust didn't have that much besides like weights and stuff. Like weights and food. That's all they had really. Yeah. So they also had like a just random room that's big enough for them all to like stay and train. So before this ship is big as it's Sunny, a lot of same stuff in it, just not as decorative. Like enough room to put the same stuff in there. So Luffy kind of carved out a lot of stuff and made room for a lot of stuff. Now with this they sail away again, going all the way to Sword Village. They arrive there. Everything proceeds to go the same way until Luffy just spies on Plottor or Kuro and Django with Usopp. Luffy doesn't fall to the ground and said Usopp's about to until Luffy catches him. Then they play a waiting game, waiting for Kuro's crew to arrive. When they do arrive, Luffy's one that made a plan. He made sure that Zoro went the right way. Well, Kobe made sure that Zoro went the right way, but told Zoro he had a special position. Now, Luffy's plan for Zoro is just to lie in wait and then use Onigiri at the best position, I say. So, because that Onigiri will take down a lot of people out all at once. So, yeah. But the position that Zoro was in, when Zoro is told to use Onigiri, well, it would take down at least half of Kuro's crew in one shot. Because Luffy can tell what the powerhouses are, being the Mountain Brothers. So, when Zoro's in position, he eventually would use his Onigiri, and, well, when he uses it, both Mountain Brothers are took down by his one Onigiri. So when the Onigiri takes them both down, Zoro actually just stopped moving and just keeps chopping them or cutting them down. He kept moving. Kobe had lost a decent amount of weight already with how much he trained with Zoro and Luffy. So yeah. So as Zoro just proceeds to just keep cutting down, Kobe had actually been learned how to use like one of Nami's staffs, and Kobe began like helping take down the guys with Nami. And Kobe's had like a lot more physical training and like just like more barehanded combat training. So yeah. But eventually we just have like just Zoro, Kobe, and Nami and Usopp taking down most of the guys, but Luffy just waits. But suddenly Kuro would see Usopp and go to kill him. Luffy blocked the strike, holding Kuro's hand in place. Kuro questions who Luffy is. Because he's name is Straw Hat Luffy. Suddenly he squeezed full force, completely crushing Kuro's arm. Like he just crushed it full force, and Kuro can never use that hand again, at least properly. Kuro began screaming in pain. Luffy just spun around, kicking him across in the jaw as hard as he can, and it knocked him out. Luffy grabbed Kuro's glove, saying, "Souvenir." One of Kuro's guys ran at Luffy just slashed down on his chest, not killing them, and just making sure that they lost a lot of blood. So yeah, with that, Kuro's just down for the count, with his arm being shattered and his jaw being shattered. So yeah. So with this, we should go on to see just the Straw's finish beating up Kuro's crew. And Zoro never got hurt at Orangetown. He didn't get hurt anywhere really. At Orangetown, Zoro was in a good position, took down the guy that hurt him first, and the guy was going to hurt Zoro, or tried to hurt Zoro again. Well, the guys were going to try to hurt Zoro, taken down by Zoro himself. And then Luffy one-shot Buggy, so Buggy never got the chance to hurt anyone. So, yeah. But not me, at least, but that's about it. But Luffy had kept all Buggy's cannonballs in his Muggy balls. He's usually basically like just make sure that there's no Buggy symbol on it. And when it's like the Muggy ball, he's like, no, I'm renaming it something. I don't know what yet, but I'm renaming it. So they have Buggy's Muggy balls and stuff like that. And Luffy, Zoro, and Kobe, and Nami all made sure to like test them out and learn how to use it. So yeah. Alright, so we're going to see like just Kuro's crew defeated. I guess Jungo saw the same treatment he did in Canon. And yeah, so they leave with Usopp, and Usopp's shocked at how big their ship is on the inside. Like, look, it looks regular on the outside, then they go out. And Luffy had carved tons of stuff into the ship, so there's a lot more room. Now, Usopp was able to get like a small workshop, as he didn't really need a big space. He's like, just like, if you have like a tool shop, I'll sleep in there. It's like, alright, sure if you want to. If she had enough stuff for her, she Usopp to make Kabuto a lot earlier, she didn't realize this. And him and Nami began talking, and he asked Nami if she wanted a better weapon than a staff. So yeah. So Usopp's like you want a better weapon than a wooden stick? Well, obviously. Don't better weapon like some wooden staff. I can make you a metal one. Like, no, this works out decently. But that's when Luffy's like, not Luffy, Usopp's like, what's your specialty? He says like, I guess I'm a navigator, so I work with weather. And that's when Usopp's like, that's a good idea. So yeah. So Usopp began working on Climate Attack because he had all the right materials to do so. And like a more updated Climate Attack, like one that'll be easy for Nami to use. Not some trick Climate Attack. But yeah. We go on and just see Usopp builds Kabuto, built different kind of stars, building a Firebird star. Also building an extra large, well, I guess wasn't be a lead ball, but an extra large gunpowder star. And with this, when he fires it, it doesn't have the same amount of damage because when gunpowder it's stuffed with, when she fires it, it would be kind of close in power to a cannonball. So yeah, but so couldn't fire it off yet, so it led to him training a lot more. Pause real quick. Alright, so, Usopp began with Climate Attack and training with Zoro and Kobe and Luffy, and Nami actually, because she joined in occasionally. Just to up his physical strength, so he's able to use his new gunpowder stars, or mega gunpowder stars. Next up, the fucking, what was it? How did I forget the name? The Baratie. And I've done a One Piece in so long, I'm forgetting the names. This is something that I need to go back to doing One Piece stuff. If I'm forgetting the names of the most important things in One Piece, I need to do more content of One Piece. And I used to do so much of it. I'm sorry. But yeah. So they get the Baratie, kind of everything goes the same way. Up until, well, first off, they didn't fire a cannonball into it. Yosuke got healed pretty fast. Plus, Yosuke got the oranges in his mouth a lot faster because Luffy did it immediately. But by the way, about positions on the crew, about the positions. So basically, Luffy's the captain, but Kobe would be like he's not vice captain, he's quartermaster, which kind of acts as captain, so he's vice captain. So yeah, kind of Kobe acts like the captain alongside Nami. Like those two are the ones that. Let me show you this right. Zoro's vice captain, but those two weren't really too reliable on certain things. But Luffy was, Zoro wasn't really too much, and Luffy didn't know this, but still Zoro had the power and he'd use the authority at the right time. But still, a lot of the time he wasn't really one that was reliable the most. So she entrusted Kobe and Nami to be the ones that make decisions if Luffy's not around. But when it comes to battle and Luffy's not around, it goes to Zoro. And that was understandable. Zoro even agreed to that. Like, yeah, having authority when I'm not in battle isn't really my thing. So those two can do whatever they want. I'll be sleeping and drinking. So yeah. So with this, we should go on and see just like just them meeting Sanji and everything. They already have a lot of money. So yeah. So with this, we should move on, going all the way on to just when Don Krieg arrives. That's where the most important thing would be. But when Don Krieg does arrive, just take over the Baratie, Luffy would walk up to him, saying, "Now what can Don Krieg do? He has power from backstabbing. That's not really a pirate thing. Well, it's a pirate thing to do, but not a power thing to do. It just proves you're weak. That proves you're weak without. That proves you're weak without. That proves you're. It just proves you're weak unless you have opportunity to backstab someone. And this armor is all you really got, isn't it?" Luffy basically like just trash talking Don Krieg and revealing all the secrets. But Don Krieg just says, I made it all the way to Commodore. You think you can beat me? And Luffy just one-shots this man with the utmost disrespect, just one-shots him at full force. Just like a full force one-shot, and Don Krieg's armor shattered and he was knocked out. Luffy thrown him into the sea, saying, and this should do. As Don Krieg thrown into the sea, Luffy gained like just shocked that Don Krieg taking out in one hit, and so was the rest of the crew. Then Pearl tried to jump at Luffy till Sanji had jumped in the way, kicking Pearl right in the jaw, full force, shattering it. As Pearl bounced off like the dock and then into the ocean, Pearl just climbed back on, just like barely able to stay conscious. As Pearl climbed back up, suddenly Sanji would jump down and keep on giving Pearl a beatdown. Then Gin, realizing that this is his crew, he has to step in some way. He jumps in, going on the attack. Then Zoro begins running in, attacking Gin as well. And these two actually proved to be, well, pretty close in power, because Gin was giving Sanji the hands. Gin was giving Sanji hands. You guys realize that he was. And then we see just Zoro and Gin fighting. Zoro's a tad bit stronger than Gin, but Gin has a physical advantage. That's really just it. Gin and Zoro are pretty close in power. So yeah. Now with this, well, Zoro and Gin eventually fight each other to the standstill and pass out. And yeah. But Luffy had acknowledged that Gin was insanely strong. So yeah. Now this Luffy had dropped the rest of the crew as Pearl and Sanji had beaten Pearl and Sanji had took down a decent amount of the crew. They all took down a decent amount of people. But yeah. Jun, Gin, and Zoro wake up. When Mihawk already came by, Luffy said he'll fight Mihawk and Zoro instead. And Luffy, well, no one knew this about Luffy besides Ace, Sabo, and Nagari. This technique I'm giving Luffy just off the rip because I want to. I have a good idea for it later on. Luffy with his eyes can somewhat copy everything you can do, despite if you never experienced it. This includes swordsmanship. So imagine what happened when Zoro awakens Ashura and Sanji awakens Diablo Jambe. So imagine what will happen there. But yeah. So Luffy picked up Zoro's swords, and well, he activates Gear Second, and then says, "Come at me." It says, "You're the weak one. You come at me." Luffy suddenly had a pin from Mihawk. Especially Mihawk even thought a pirate that's this low ranking without a bounty can even do. And Luffy actually began fighting against Mihawk, and proved to be a foe that's way stronger than Mihawk could ever think of in the East Blue. Luffy's speed even made Mihawk like just kind of actually cautious, actually pulling out Yoru just because Luffy was avoiding the small blade so precisely and almost chipping away at it. Mihawk's like, either I use Haki or I use Yoru, one of the two. Luffy pulls out Yoru, means it's just being displaying it to Luffy. Luffy immediately had actually jumped over Yoru, kicking Mihawk in the side, telling Mihawk to use Haki or else he'll lose. Mihawk immediately scoffed, pulling out a small blade again, saying, if you know what Haki is, you should know you'll lose. He says, "No, I'm pretty decent with it myself. I think I still have a good chance of winning." Then Luffy and Mihawk engaged in battle for hours on end till Zoro had woken up. And Luffy's more or less just not giving up and not passing out because he has enough endurance to keep up with Mihawk for hours on end. So when Zoro does wake up, he just sees Mihawk and Luffy fighting. And notice that Luffy's using his swords. And that's when Zoro asks Kobe what happened, and Kobe's like, oh yeah, so Luffy saw you passed out, and Mihawk had arrived, so he's fighting Mihawk in your stead. And so what I'm seeing, honestly, I don't even think you could keep up with Luffy, and I know he's not going all out yet. So when Zoro hears this, he's like, well, yeah, probably it's Luffy. He's never gone all out from what I know. But eventually Mihawk actually let his guard down, and Luffy had kind of went like a stabbing motion using his jaw, because Mihawk never expected that, because Luffy can stretch his neck, so he'll kind of swing his head to the side and forward, and then Mihawk had to didn't really dodge, barely dodged, allowing a large slash across his cheek. Luffy suddenly throwing all the blades at Mihawk, and Mihawk was able to dodge them, but actually slashed them all to pieces. Suddenly all the blades disappeared, and Mihawk ended up having the point of a blade aimed right at his neck. And that's when Mihawk realized that Luffy was just using his small slice of Mihawk to his own advantage, because Mihawk didn't really expect Luffy to use that to his advantage. Luffy isn't a swordsman by any means, but he knows how to use them for some reason. Luffy even admitted that. And Mihawk even said that if he didn't know how to use Haki, Luffy could kill him right here and now. But Luffy just had such little power compared to someone who can use Haki that it's an easy win. That Mihawk immediately had just basically headbutted Luffy using Haki and knocked Luffy out cold. And using Luffy had not used Wano or anything to put the blade in Mihawk's neck, so when Mihawk headbutted, he put Haki around his neck and face and shattered the blade and knocked out Luffy. Mihawk said that was a good fight, but either way, Mihawk wasn't going all out. He was giving this kid a chance. But did tell Luffy that if he actually learned how to use a sword his whole life, he may have been a foe that Mihawk would have feared. Zoro could tell that Luffy was someone with a devil fruit. It was basically just like if how do I phrase it? Zoro realized that Luffy was leagues above him, not even a swordsman. And he's using the three-sword style about as good as Zoro can, but still Luffy was already above him. Pause. So Luffy fought Mihawk, he lost. Zoro already acknowledged Luffy as someone stronger than him, because him with swords. And Zoro picked up Luffy and picked up his broken sword, saying, at least I still have half of it left. Feeling the blade being crumbling, and Zoro says, damn it, Luffy, and just shows Luffy on the boat, saying, Alright, everyone, let's go. He points to the ship, and they all jump on. We had opened one of his eyes, actually just looked up at Gin, saying, get on the ship. Gin says, what do I screw? Luffy says, let's screw them. They piss off Mihawk. They'll get you killed at this rate. That Gin says, alright then, let me do this at least. Gin threw all his crew in D, and they kicked the boat out to sea. And, well, by the way, if you don't remember about Don Krieg, he drowned. Luffy kicked him in the water while he's unconscious hours ago. You think he'd woken up by now? He's kind of sinking incredibly low. Like, at this point, he's seeking food. Yeah, so, I don't know, probably 15 minutes after Luffy had dropped him down there, I guarantee you the water pressure crushed him. So, yeah. The Strouts get back on the boat. Gin goes with them. And, yeah. So Sanji also does go with them, because Zoro's like, Luffy's gonna be mad at me if you don't join, so get on the ship, please. Sanji's like, nah, I'm good. Doesn't like, Zeph just kicks Sanji in the back, sings Sanji down to Zoro's feet, and Zoro picks him up and throws him on the boat. So then thanks Zeph, and then they go. So yeah. They head to Arlong Park, because Nami had asked them to. Well, they head to Kokoshi Village, which she asked them to. Then they go to she sneaks into Arlong Park. And Luffy does get his body healed a bit, because he had a major concussion from Mihawk. So yeah. So yeah. Luffy's a bit healed, but does wear a bit of bandage around his head a bit, because still got headbutted with Haki. And he's still in the East Blue. But we just want to see the Strouts just going around Arlong Park, and as they go around, well, first off, Gin trained with Zoro and Kobe and Sanji as they train as a group alongside Usopp and Nami. Luffy doesn't train with them himself anymore, but he does train with them occasionally. He mainly trains by himself, learning advancing his gears using new techniques. And he learned a new technique by the name of Red Hawk. But Luffy's still in contact with Ace and Sabo via news queue. He's pretty sure the thing, like, if you pay the news queue, they'll deliver a letter for you. But it's like a crime to like just take the letters and stuff from them, regardless who you are. But eventually, we just go on to like just them on Arlong Park. Nami had left them behind, and Luffy had actually talked to Nojiko, Nami's sister. So as they talk to Nojiko, they get all the information they need on Nami, and we're gonna go to Luffy now. We'll over to the Marines who had heard about Luffy. First, he beat Kuro's crew, and reportedly Buggy as well, and Alvida. And now Don Krieg has dropped off the face of the earth. And Mihawk put in a good word for Luffy once he heard they were going to give him a bounty. He put in a good word for him. And his crewmates. And now he has a demon Geen on his crew. They're questioning how strong this kid is until they start to Garp his name is Monkey D. Luffy. We're like, oh, yes, that's my idiot-ass grandson. He's a genius. Long story short, if you can beat him and you're not using hockey, I'm amazed. And that's when, like, even if you're a warlord that can't use hockey, that's when, like, Garp's like, fat chance. If this kid becomes a warlord, I'd be amazed. And even if a warlord beats him, I'm still going to be amazed. Well, not Mihawk. He's Mihawk, but yeah. If any warlord besides Mihawk beats Luffy, I'm going to be impressed. Honestly, you deserve a raise in whatever you do. And that's what Garp even says that he's a high bounty. Luffy starting bounty, 85 million berries. 85 million. Then he has Geen on his crew. Geen gets an advanced bounty of 60 million because he's with Luffy. And he has Zoro behind Geen, who supposedly fought on par with Zoro. And that actually allows Zoro to get a 60 million berry bounty as well. Sanji, they don't know much about him. He gets 30 million. He gets Luffy's first bounty. And that's all the bounties they get. So yeah. Plus the whole Morgan incident. So that also add on to Zoro's power and his bounty. But yeah. Kind of Kobe and Usopp are like, they're used as like how do I phrase it? The bait. Because this is kind of what Kobe has been so far, and same with Usopp. But yeah, so with this we move on to Arlong Park. Dressrosa breaking into Arlong Park alongside Johnny Yosuke. But Kobe was like the one outside saying, sorry, you can't go in here yet. Kobe still has a strong fight on par with Fishman. While Nami's just there held captive. Well, actually, no, she's not. She's still in the town. We're waiting for Luffy to come back. And Usopp is just there fighting Chu. And Usopp did train with them a lot. He's actually been working to use his mega gunpowder star. This is where Usopp will debut it. As he's like running away from Chu a bit, like able to dodge. And so he reaches into his pouch, pulling out his mega gunpowder star. Is the only thing he brought with him, saying, "This is the only thing I'll need to take you down." Like, oh, what is it? Just a big ball of lead. The small one didn't work. Usopp had like a few small ones, but a few like small lead balls. Usopp says, "No, mega gunpowder star." He shot it right at Chu, and she was about to catch it till it hit. She was like gunpowder. Well, it hit his hand. It blew up. Chu screamed in pain as his body had kind of caught fire. His clothes did at least. And before Chu can enter the water, Usopp jumped, kicked Chu away from the water, saying, "Anyone who hurts our friend doesn't deserve to live around her. You're gonna stay here till I think you're done." So Chu be begging for mercy, but Usopp said, "No, someone like you does not deserve it." Usopp stepped over Chu as Chu had eventually burned to death, and well, Luffy's like, he's ruthless. Good job. Something Arlong says, "Don't say like, who do you think you are? Don't look away from me." And Arlong has then swung a sword at Luffy. Luffy just caught it and shattered it, saying, "Sorry. Didn't mean to disrespect you. That Arlong kicked like right through Arlong Park and lands in the center of Kokodashi Village, just unconscious, and that was in one shot. So that was expected of everyone. And then he was like, "Oh, that was a one shot. Good job." Pause real quick. So what's been going on so far? Usopp killed Chu. He was that pissed at Chu because Chu had been talking shit about Nami and now Usopp. So Usopp's like, nope, you die now. Then Luffy had one-shot Arlong as everyone expected him to. And we see Geen, who just proceeded to drop every single fishman in his path. And then we see Sanji just beat the hell out of Kurubi. And then Zoro fight Hachi and win pretty easily because Zoro isn't injured at all. And Zoro would have soloed Arlong Park like he did in canon besides Arlong. It was just, well, he was there kind of in a meeting, so, like the Strats were. But Kobe was scoping it out, because, well, Luffy briefed him on it previously, so yeah. Kobe gets a briefing early, because he's Kobe. He's an intelligent one. But we move forward all the way on to just, well, well, first Zoro beat Hachi in like seconds. Then we see Sanji beat Krieg up pretty fast. And we go on, just going all the way on to like them leaving. First they have a 3-day party. The fishermen were all arrested. Nezumi got arrested alongside them too, because, well, he had to be. The 3-day party ends, they all leave, and Gin got a new clothing design. Kobe still has the same gear, it's just it's not a marine outfit, it's more like just like a all white hoodie. Like hints of red on it. So yeah, now Gin eventually does get like his same kind of clothing, it's just, well, it's now just kind of the same thing as Kobe, it's all black. So yeah. Now with this, we should move forward all the way on to just like we should move all the way on to just Loguetown now. They get there. Now Smoker's ready because Luffy has a bounty poster of 85 million. He doesn't know what Luffy looks like. When pirates come, he's like, you guys aren't Luffy, and beats crap out of them with no effort. And now Buggy got news of Luffy's bounty poster. He's like, okay, this kid's out of my league. I don't think we can beat him. And I'll be able to have the same reaction of that bounty. So they're not there to beat Luffy. They're just kind of there to see what him versus Smoker will look like. But Luffy's aware of every single devil fruit category. There's one thing he's hiding on a ship that he found because of the librarian at Kokoyashi village. He heard rumors of it, then found it at Kokoyashi. He has a devil fruit encyclopedia. He's aware of every single zone, not every single one, but he's aware of zone, Logia, Paramecia. He's aware of what kind of he has. So when he doesn't encounter Smoker and him and Smoker fight, I just noticed that this is a Logia. The only way to beat a Logia is either water or natural weakness. Smoker doesn't really have one, besides wind and a natural match being fire. So he doesn't have Ace here. So basically just fire, wind, and water. Doesn't have either of those, but he can generate both. He can't generate water, but it would be cool if he can. Luffy immediately jumped into gear second, stalking Smoker. Luffy ran around Smoker at full speed. Actually, when Smoker began using Delphi, the smoke began being rolled up in a tornado, like Smoker not even be able to escape this vortex. Then Luffy had stopped. Smoker was dispersed everywhere, and Luffy grabbed his jute, and Smoker like right in the knee, breaking his leg. Then Luffy just suddenly jumped in the air. Smoker tried to shoot his fist up at Luffy. Luffy then yelled, gear second, Red Hawk. His arm flying down right at Smoker. His fist basically destroyed Smoker's, and the flames actually pushed away all Smoker's flames pushed away all Smoker's smoke, and it pushed Smoker into the ground. But then Smoker tried to get up, his leg was still broken, and Luffy just presses on this the jute on his neck and holds him in place like that. So, what time is it? Oh fuck! I've been for like 2 hours. We go all the way on to we go all the way on to the Smoker's defeated. Luffy's holding him in place in the middle of the town. Eventually he says his board just knocks out Smoker. Goes into the Gold Roger bar, he's out there, and the bartender thinks of Luffy like Roger. So yeah. Go ahead and pause one more time. Alright, so Strat's all that they need. Sanji enters that stupid cooking competition with that random girl. Now he buys all her unnecessary clothes, but then again they have all the money they need to buy it. Zoro doesn't need a loan to buy swords. Usopp just buys a lot more materials, enters a competition with Daddy Masterson, and he wins. Again. Toby just buys a few books on martial arts, and she finds one that sells for a really high price. But then again, when he asked Luffy about it, Luffy got involved. Not Luffy got involved. When he asked Luffy and told Luffy what the contents of the book were, Luffy's like, okay, cool, just go ahead and buy it. This book was being sold by an ex-Marine. Actually happened to train a bit Cypher Pole agents. His book was just his tale, but also it was used for a bit of training. Now the thing is, the Marines actually allowed him to sell it because learning Rokushiki as some random idiot who has no training would be impossible. Again, you're a straw pirate. You can learn anything if you want to. Kobe buys the book. It means learning not learning all of them, but learning like when to show the Rokushiki that's in it. This Marine couldn't do a lot of them and didn't know how to use a lot of them. So the Marine had the book. He could do the Tekai and Soryu. But Kobe's gonna learn those. So it's Kobe learned those two. Those Rokushiki. that's something he trains with Luffy, because Luffy is so fast, and he actually is able to actually enhance his gear second because he based it off of Kuro's shave technique. So yeah, he has gear third, but can't remove the factor of him turning short or like turning the size of a dwarf. So he's still working on that as like an extra technique. So gear fourth will probably turn into his gear 5 technique, and his gear fourth would just be him altering his whole size in general. So yeah. But yeah. We move on, going all the way on to Strauss heading back to their ship, and Luffy says, "Alright, now we're all short on money. Nami, return half that. Zoro, did you buy your sword at all?" Zoro's like, "Nope. I got them for free. The guy liked me." Yes, Kobe how much the book was. Kobe's like, actually, I think it was like just like one small bag of gold, or one small bag of berries, and Luffy's like, one small bag. Like an estimate, it was like 10,000 berries. Like, all right, good enough. We had a few million, and Nami you spent like 100,000. Nami can turn half that. Nami just pleaded. He's like, no, we spent the most. Return half that. We still need a lot of money. So yeah. But we move on, going all the way on to them going to the Red Line. They meet Laboon, goes the same way. Luffy just doesn't fight Laboon. Or he does fight Laboon, but doesn't have a mask through his head. Instead just hits him with gear second with a palm strike. So yeah. But with this, we should move on, going all the way on to like just yes they meet Vivi. When it comes to like to fucking Whiskey Peak, Zoro and Gin were the ones that are like more on guard. It's like Gin is kind of like Zoro, just he uses tonfas instead of swords, and he's intelligent, actually a bit smarter than Zoro is. So yeah, but you and Zoro proceed to like mop every single bounty hunter there. Then they get to Miss Monday. He tries to hold Zoro in place, but Zoro's not even phased by it. That's why he's not even being hurt. But then Gin just punches her in her elbow full force, like making her bone pop out of her elbow. Well, not her elbow, but out of her like arm, making her scream in pain. So she hits the ground, and he kicks her in the head, knocking her out. Euron looks at these two monsters as they also down one half of Whiskey Peak themselves, and they're not even breaking a sweat yet. We asked why they did all this, and they're like, "Oh yeah, they're bounty hunters." They point out all the guns and knives they had. He's like, "Oh yeah, good job." Eventually, Mr. 5 and Miss Valentine arrive. Then Gin throws like a tonfa at Miss Valentine's head, and he just hits her head on it and knocks her out because how fast it was. She couldn't see it. Once it knocks her out, we just go on to see like just Zoro fighting Mr. 5, and Zoro almost cut him apart. So yeah. So Zoro's like about to cut him apart. Luffy eventually says, "Nope, don't kill him. Don't kill him." But Luffy quickly just goes, "You're second, just like a swift one tap to the guy's face, knocking him out." And he's like, "That just should have done that. Just a very swift punch would take him out." So yeah. So we go off this, going all the way on to, well, I guess the next arc would be Little Garden. They meet Dory and Buggy. They all take their sides. Well, it's not Luffy or Gin, but Zoro and everyone else do. Luffy and Gin kind of thought of it as stupid, but they still do it. But Luffy also recommends they all just like keep your clothes on, keep everything on, just keep your regular clothes on, and make sure your skin's covered. There's a lot of bugs here and everything, and there's also somehow dinosaurs. So yeah. But Miss 3 Miss Golden Week attack. Well, first off, Nami's not going to get sick. Luffy make sure that their skin is not exposed and no bugs can latch onto them. And if there are, you can see them. So Nami actually saw a tick about to leech onto her, but when it tried to get attached, she picked it off and threw it. So yeah. Mr. 3 tries to use his wax thing, but Luffy can generate a lot of heat with gear second. If he did just that, actually burning away his clothes, not all of them, like his shirt was kind of burned away, but shorts still stay intact because they're his shorts and his pants. If he disappeared, as all the wax on it melted, and with the heat he generated, he was also able to free Gin and Zoro and Nami. Nami jumped off the giant platform, seeing Mr. 3, throwing her staff right at his head, but he was really focused on Luffy and looking for him, and Luffy made sure he was being a big distraction. But soon he looked up for Nami. He saw her staff hitting him right in the forehead, and her staff is now metal. She has a lot of metal staffs now. They can actually shrink and vary in size. and also a lot more durable, so they can withstand at least 2 tons on top of them. So when this hit him, he's knocked unconscious immediately, and he just hit the ground. Then with Golden Week, Luffy just broke her paintboard, thinking of that as her ability. So he just broke it and then broke her paintbrush, making her sad, but still he won. But then those two random pretty sure a mole and a vulture. Zoro and Gin just say, oh, those things they're trying to attack us with guns. So Zoro just puts the swords up and just blocks every single bullet with his sword, and throws a sword right at the vulture's head, and it kills it, and then just crushes the fucking mole. But yeah. But we just go on to the shots leaving. Nami gets him sick. But again, Luffy's we don't have a proper doctor, and then again, a tick touched you. We don't know if you're sick yet. We should make sure we should go to the island and get you checked. They from island first. They meet Wapol, and Gin someone actually break it. He breaks Wapol's face. He hits him that hard. No, so Tom just hits him in the face. It punches him. So his jaw, his skull is basically just shattered. As well, Wapol's just knocked on the ship. Chess and Kuro might have tried to do something, but Sanji just kicks him down to the ground. And we see Usopp just fire off Firebird Star onto Chess, letting him on fire. So, yeah. Kuro Marimo would stick to Sanji, so Usopp suddenly uses a Firebird Star on him, and so Sanji just kicks Chess into the water. We go forward, all the way into the trucks, getting to Drum Island. They look for a doctor, they don't have one. But then it's just a checkup, so they're actually able to find someone who's able to be a pseudo-doctor for them. And that works. But we should move on, going all the way to Luffy, why are there no doctors here? Because he's just curious about this. It's not good for so many people to be here with no doctors. And with this, he hears the whole story from the villagers. He hears this, that actually makes him very upset. And they the anger in his face. Luffy kind of has a bit of not PTSD, but seeing to say the Great Terminal due to the Celestial Dragons and the Gold Kingdom and the lower ranks of Gold Kingdom, because he's been inside it. He stayed there for a few days occasionally. He knows that the nobles are shit. He does know this. So when this about there's not even a single doctor in the country, he's beyond pissed. Luffy says all the doctors were mainly up in the nobles, and they rarely treated the lower ranking ones with care, and then the people in the Great Terminal can even get medical care, even if they had a lot of money or a lot of valuables to sell. This made Luffy very pissed off. And he says he's gonna wait for Wapol to return, but he's gonna wait in his castle. Luffy had jumped up there, just a few jumps to get up there. They landed. He saw Kobe climb up behind him, and Kobe was actually doing decently fast. He lost a lot of weight because how much he trained with Zoro and Kobe. Not Kobe, I mean. Kobe lost a lot of weight because how much he trained with Zoro and Sanji and Gin. Kobe got up there. He got up there pretty fast because with his Rokishiki, he's pretty durable. Kobe and Zoro and Gin struggle to make Kobe feel anything when he uses Tech Eye at full power, because they should learn how to use it properly. But pause. So Luffy and Kobe wait for Wapol to return, but they meet Chopper and Dr. Ain. They ask why Luffy's here. Luffy just explains the whole situation and why he's doing this. Chopper's shocked that people are actually doing this good, and how Luffy doesn't care that Chopper's some random talking animal. Kobe cares and he thinks they're actually really cool, not scared. Kobe actually begins taking notes, saying, "Whoa, you're really cool. Can I take notes?" Chopper's like, I don't care. Just don't touch me, please. You seem really weird. Dr. Ain actually pulls out an axe and says, and she hates Wapol too. She'd be here to wait. He says, you don't need to wait, but sure. Luffy then sees Chopper buff up, saying if Dr. Ain is willing to help you, I'll help you as well. They spend hours waiting till Wapol arrives. Kobe told them where Luffy's going, the Strats where they were going, so they know where he's at. But eventually, we just see Wapol and his guards arrive, and for some fun, I'll include Mushiro. Kobe will be fighting Mushiro. And Kobe actually proves to be on par with Mushiro, and Wapol's face is still broken. But Luffy just defeats Wapol pretty easily. But But eventually, we see that Chopper jump up all the way to chess, saying that he'll stick to chess, so we can't fight him. And not chess. I mean, he'll stick to Kuro Marimo, so we can't fight him. He can fight chess instead. Chopper is able to fight chess and actually beat him pretty easily because chess was extremely weak. And Kuro Marimo focused on Chopper and Luffy and focused on everyone besides Dr. Rain. Actually led to Dr. Rain pulling out a giant axe and throwing it as hard as he can, like right at Kuro Marimo, and it stuck right in his chest, So yeah, as Kuro Marimo went to the ground, he was just coughing up blood, and Dr. Rain stomps in a certain area that would destroy him being a man. That Waffle's defeated, and yeah. Now we run after this arc. The Ross head back. Chopper just run the crew because Kobe was able to convince him, and Chopper found out Kobe wasn't weird, just very head over heels for fairy tale like animals. Looks like Kobe's actually very close to his age. Chopper's 15, Kobe's 16. Yeah, Kobe's actually 16, and before the time skip, he's 16. He's the youngest on the crew until Chopper joins, or he would be the youngest if he did join in canon. Pause. Oh, where was I? Dr. Rain defeated Kuro Marimo by throwing an axe into his chest. Chopper one-shot chess. Kobe fights Mushiru and proves to be a lot stronger than him. But his Tech Eye and Soru combined are overwhelming to Mushiru. And Luffy can easily one-shot Wapol, and he did just that. That the Triads leave with Chopper joining their crew. Dr. Rain says goodbye to Chopper. Chopper joined because Kobe thought he was cool, and Chopper just thought because Kobe was near his age, he found out and thought it was even more reason to join the crew. So yeah, that Chopper joins, they leave, and they all head all the way to Alabasta. So yeah, now one big thing to notice is that they have 2 additional crew members, being Kobe and Gin. So Luffy, Zoro, Kobe, Nami, Usopp, Sanji, Gin, and Kobe. That's already 8 people on the crew. Then they have to get Brook and Jinbei and Robin. Well, so far just Brook and Robin, but that's already 10 people on the crew. So it's already big crew. So yeah. So to have 11 when they get Jinbei, but yeah. But we should go on to them getting Alabasta, then meet Robin. And we should go forward to them going all the way to Alabasta, they meet millions and billions, they defeat them. I'm just going to proceed on to the fights, that'd be the most important part. For the most important part of the fights, we go on to basically see Chopper, and this time Usopp is with them, but Kobe's also there. Because, well, there's a lot more numbers to the Strike crew, and the additional numbers are actually really insanely powerful. Additional numbers actually call for millions and billions to be a part of it. So, Kobe will look at the millions and billions, and there's not actually millions and billions of people, but instead it's just like, if you around I'd say 40 guys that are titled millions and billions, Kobe puts his arms up ready to fight them, and, Kobe's ready to fight them. Well, he looks at Usopp, and looks at Usopp fighting against I believe it was Mr. 4. So, a baseball comes flying at Usopp. Usopp had caught it and threw it back at the same amount of power, and due to Mr. 4 being a bit slower than Usopp is, we can catch it or dodge it, and he gets hit nailed right in the face and knocked out by it. And that was just Usopp throwing the ball back at him. Then we go on to go and see Chopper versus who was it? Yeah, Chopper versus Miss Merry Christmas, and he defeats her the same way he did in canon. And Kobe versus millions and billions. He just says I'm ready to come at me. Use Tech Eye, and they always hack him. But every single tech that you use they're either weapons either break or crack on him, or they doesn't pierce his skin. Kobe had just dropped them all easily, so this is a little too easy, and they're supposed to be really for Baroque work. They're working for Baroque work. They're supposed to be working under a warlord. How are they this weak? Once all defeated, he just decides walking away, saying, "Guys, I thought my first fight against a warlord would be fun. So there's someone working under a warlord." He knew Mushiru was strong, but doesn't realize that Wapol was stronger. Pause real quick. Alright, so move on to Gin and Zoro. And Nami fights fights with Doflamingo by herself, but yeah. Nami beat her pretty easily because the clown attack was built earlier. It was just Usopp, he started building it earlier and making it so it wasn't really a trick climb attack. But instead, if it were a trick climb attack, well, the tricks do attack themselves. So yeah. Nami used it like it flew flowers, sure, but then she can just like twist it again. The flowers get fired out at insane speeds because well, they're fired out at insane speeds and it kind of scratches you up. But we just go on to see just Gin fighting against like just millions and billions. So he doesn't have anyone important to fight against right now. But he fights against everyone there. Well, 1 million billions. He's actually fighting hundreds of them. It's actually tiring him out a lot, but he's still winning. Zoro had fought Mr. One and won pretty easily actually. And he's like, oh, can you cut steel? Zoro's like, yep, done that a few times. Appeared behind him, streaks his blade, and Mr. One was just cut down in one strike. So yeah, like, Zoro's just mainly blocking on defense the whole time. Wasn't even like being phased by it until he just cut him down once and he won. So once that happens, Zoro began looking at Gin, wondering if he's okay, and then sees Gin beat up every single million and billions there, and he was breaking a little bit of a sweat. Then you see Sanji versus Mr. Two, and he won pretty easily. Well, they all train a lot more because they only need to help Kobe, Usopp, and Nami. First, it was to help Kobe. Then Usopp wanted to join in. Well, first Nami wanted to join in to get stronger. Then so did Usopp. Usopp was like a bigger influence on her because he wanted to get stronger despite him already having decent abilities. It was just he wasn't physically strong at all. But if he had physical strength, then he was able to nonetheless he's able to use bigger attacks. So with this, we should move on, going all the way on to like Sanji beating Mr. Two. Then Nami had beat Mr. Subblefinger, and well, she's barely even hit. So yeah, just one lightning tempo had destroyed her. First a few scratches, then one lightning tempo, and she's done for. Yeah, the other fights, I guess what happened if there are other fights, I forgot, but yeah. So Luffy does, by the way, he fought Crocodile the first time, but was able to fight him to a standstill, and that was before Luffy even knew his weakness. Luffy thought about the ability to sand for a bit. It was like, sand would be weak to insane heat or water, but I don't have that insane heat. I have average heat at best. Water it is. So Luffy basically grabbed like two giant, just one giant like water tank, like the water towers you find in video games. Luffy had like one of those strapped to his back. Then we have Pell flying him all the way to Crocodile's tower, where the castle he's in. Pell like, all right, you're too heavy. I need to jump off. So Luffy jumps off. Crocodile's question was on his back. I think water shouldn't beat him. Just that much water. And Luffy sprayed some Crocodile dodged it. Then Luffy already anticipated where he was going to go with observation Haki. The Crocodile had said, "Huh, you mit." And before he even finished his word, Luffy slammed the water tower and the Crocodile completely. So yeah, Crocodile's basically milking that water. And as he stepped in it, he's uppercutted by Luffy. Luffy just giving him the hand of disrespect. Crocodile can't even dodge it because how fast Luffy's moving. But by the time Luffy's on Crocodile didn't get one hit in, and Luffy had one. And it was minimal damage. Just a lot of wood everywhere because of the water tower. But Luffy did meet Ace, that kind of went the same way, didn't canon. So yeah. But Luffy's still stronger than Ace. Even though Ace can use all three forms of Haki, Luffy can use one of them, and that one form is better than what Ace can do sometimes. But also Luffy doesn't know Ace's Devil Fruit weakness because he studies Devil Fruits as a hobby, so yeah. And plus it's just common knowledge of what would be the weakness of a Logia. Fight it to a standstill with smoke, Ace Logia, fight it to a standstill with smoke, or use water. Same way you beat Smoker. Smoker was there, so he'd win a lot easier. Even if they were to fight, so yeah. But move on again, going all the way on to Luffy, who had beaten up, So I guess we should go on to see Luffy, who just, he beat Crocodile in very, very minimal blows. And, yeah. So, think about this, I guess. But we should go on to see, just Luffy beat Crocodile to Robin finds the poneglyph, because Luffy actually is intrigued by it. He looks at it, he actually asked her to, teach him how to, read it. She thinks, I'm not going to join him, so that's going to give any harm. So I guess I'll travel the world. So she reads Poneglyph and then goes over what these certain numerals mean. And I sit down for Luffy to think about it for a minute. He's waiting for Dressrosa to meet him here at the castle and doesn't find any of them nearby. As he just walks around the poneglyph, figuring out the numerals and how to read them. He actually was able to decipher around half of it, which with Robin only teaching him how to read 2 of them. He thought of it as like just common sense, but also just relating them to the ones he already knew. So like a bit of jumbling in his head, but eventually found out how to read at least half of it, and she was shocked by it. So yeah. With this, we move on again, going on to them leaving. Robin joins their crew because she did tell her, like, come on, go with us. I need you personally to teach me how to read poneglyphs, and with my strength, you need me to find all the poneglyphs. We need each other, and then I think that's reason enough. So just sigh, saying he did beat Crocodile that easily, so I guess I do need you. Luffy and Robin shake hands, and they go onto the ship. The Bonchan still has some escape, but then Luffy actually said he's not going to owe him any favors. Luffy does the Marines about to catch Bonchan. Luffy just yells Red Hawk, destroying a majority of the Marine ships with Ace's help. When most of them are destroyed, Luffy saw Smoker and Hina and Tashigi. So he says, Bonchan, can you sit on one of your guys so I don't drown? Bonchan agreed. Luffy jumped up in the air, wrapping his arms around Tashigi, Smoker, Hina, full body, anyone he can, and not threw them, but lifted them in the air as high as can, landing on like a small log, but falls in the water. He's trying to hold up Smoker and Tashigi and Hina, and full body and whoever else they could find. Smoker had woken up, and feeling Luffy saved them, making sure they didn't really weren't in the water, because Tashigi was the only one that can swim, and she was unconscious alongside full body and anyone else. I said Luffy's just basically about to drown. One of Bonchan's crewmates picks up Luffy, putting him on like a log, and Luffy drops Smoker, Hina, and Tashigi on top of a boat that didn't sink fully. It wasn't sink fully. It wasn't like a small hole in it. That was not a small hole, but it would make the ship sink. So now once they're all put on their boat, on a boat, it leads to them just like leaving, and yeah. So once Smoker realizes that Luffy saved them on purpose, Ace asks why he did it, and Luffy says their Marines are trying to do their job. There's no reason they should die for that. So yeah. And next they leave. Well, Luffy and his crew does. Bonchan helps him get back to his crew. We're like, Earth, and how about this? You guys, I don't know what we want to do now, but I have an offer for you. Bonchan's like, all right, cool. They head over to Luffy's ship. On the ship, Luffy is talking to Bonchan. And they start a cup of sake, saying, let's be allies. Ace was actually with Luffy, because Luffy encouraged him to come with him. Ace was like, no, he stalled. He's like, I don't care, you owe me a lot of favors. From when we were kids, this is one of the favors. He's like, oh, you're going to cash in that card now? Okay, fine. That Ace called Whitebeard. Whitebeard asks what Ace wants, and Ace talks about his brother. I was like, yeah, what do you want him? What do he brings up now? Ace like, well, my brother owes me a lot of favors. I owe my brother a lot of favors. And he wants me to cash in on like 2 of them right now. Edward's like, he's asking us to be allies, or at least be part of our grand fleet. He goes, no, just allies. He goes, I call on you when I need you. You call me. You call me if you need me. And I'm decently strong. I'd beat a warlord. I beat a warlord in like 2 punches. When I hear that, like, Weber's like, intriguing. Which warlord was it? Crocodile. Weber's like, he's unimpressive, but still 2 punches. Nice. He's Logia too. We're allies, I guess. But don't call me randomly. Got it? Call me if you're a threat like the animals or something. With that, Luffy's like, alright, deal. With that, he tells Whitebeard drink a cup of sake at the same time as Luffy. Luffy does just that. And even though Whitebeard can't see Luffy, he trusts him, and that's how they become allies. Luffy's not allied with Whitebeard's crew. And now he is part of a grand fleet, being anyone remaining at Rogue Works, because Bonchan helped them all escape. Once they all were helped to escape, well, the ones that were actually okay with Luffy, they became allies with him. And literally everyone's okay with becoming Luffy's ally. The person that wouldn't be okay with it is Miss Merry Christmas. That's really just it. Cause I don't like her, and she doesn't like Luffy, I'd say. So yeah, Luffy has all the numbers besides like the ones that try to blow up the whole town, because Pell still did that thing. The ones that try to blow up the town and Miss Merry Christmas, they don't want to be allies with Luffy. So yeah. Now with this, we head on to Jaya. Luffy's bounty got increased because he beat Overlord in only a few punches. His bounty was increased immediately, from 85 million all the way to 115 million. Then once the bounty gets there, actually 30, so you got a 30 million barrier increase in cannon, so I'll give him another 30 million. So another 30 million is going to be 85, 95, 105. 115 is okay. Once it goes all up to 115 million, well, Luffy's kind of just like chilling in the bar. And Nami didn't tell Luffy not to cause trouble, but told like, Zoro and Gin and don't cause trouble. Yeah, Luffy's just drinking in the bar, and well, Gin at this point has a bounty. The bounty higher than Bellamy, so does Zoro, but I'm going to go with bounties real quick. Luffy 115 million. 115 million. I said 50. So 115 million. Behind him is actually Zoro now, because Zoro's strength proved to be different. Be different than everyone else, because he took down Mr. One in one go. Still, person that's a higher bounty is Robin. So she took Luffy's bounty of she has bounty being a bit higher, going up to 81 million. Robin, then Zoro having a bounty of around, I'm gonna say 75 million. My name is actually tied with him is Gin at 75 million. Then Sanji, pretty close behind at 74 million. You have Kobe, who's at 72 million, as he showed to use Rokushiki, so there. So Sanji's at 74. We'll put Kobe at like 71 million. We have Usopp, who, well, first, is reported that, from like some reports of the Fishman there, Usopp killed a Fishman in the East Blue, and now he also had one thing he also did was mainly what was it? Well, first he just took down Mr. One himself. He's not Mr. One, Mr. Four. Usopp's bounty had jumped up to around 60 million. Then Chopper wasn't taken seriously. Still got the same bounties in canon, or she's like 50 million, not 50 million, like 50 berries. I was like Chopper's bounty was like 140 berries, 140. And with that, we go on to go over to Nami, who is at around 55 million. Usopp's at 60 million, Nami's at 55 million. So yeah. But yeah, so this kind of ends it. Going all the way on to, I guess we can just go on to Jaya again. Bellamy tries to pick a fight with Gin and Zoro, and he doesn't know their bounties, but doesn't know their captain's bounty. And this Bellamy calls Gin a traitor, saying, "Hey, Straw Hat, I like that you joined our crew. It's best you traded crews to join you. You can't be that trustworthy." We had a laugh, saying as if I'd join up with a weak shit like you. Never. Bellamy says, your bounty's not higher than mine. As you know, we kind of beat a warlord. So, what do you think my bounty is now? Everyone hears that. They immediately actually look for a bounty poster around town. Well, Bellamy's guys run, a few of the guys run around. It's like five minutes later, Bellamy's guy bursts in because Bellamy's trying to doubt Luffy, but Luffy kept insisting. Till when Bellamy's guys ran in holding a bounty poster, 115 million. That increase was definitely something impressive. Now with this, Bellamy's like, oh, you guess you really did beat a warlord? Which warlord was it? It was Crocodile. Why? Now, suddenly Bellamy's like, he wasn't that impressive. It was impressive, I guess. If you can beat him, I definitely can. That's when Gin says, fuck, I'm sick of you. He sends Tonfa right into the head of Bellamy's head, send him flying out of the bar with his basically head cracked open. So yeah. I mean, Luffy laughed at Bellamy, saying, yeah, take down my Gin. Because Bellamy called him like a weak shit earlier, so it kind of made Luffy laugh. So yeah. But I guess we can move on to just Skypiea, because everything else should be the same way. So yeah. With Skypiea, they already have a decent amount of money, but also they took some gold. Luffy thought that'd be a good idea. Take some up there. I'm like, and to get in the good graces, we can take some of their old gold. So yeah. Skypiea, they turned into some of the gold. That was some passage. And they turned in a lot more of the gold that they had brought up. And they put them in good graces. Literally everyone in Skypiea. Literally everyone besides Enel and all of his guys. People that hate Luffy and the crew. 12. But, we go all the way on to the Strauss fighting Enel, because that's really what happens. Luffy began fighting his observation a bit more, because he does know that Ace probably has access to all three forms of it, because he's aware of all three forms. He can use one of the forms. And then is aware of the third form, because he has seen Nagari use it once. So, yeah. Moving back on. With Enel, Luffy first off just takes down random guys. Zoro doesn't fight any Whitebeard guys, just actually is able to team up with him because he has Gin with him as well, and they drop basically anyone who crosses their path as an enemy. Chopper and Kobe do the same thing as those who are always together. Nami, Usopp, and Nami, Usopp, and Sanji are together. And Sanji still fights Enel, but able to dodge the lightning, but barely. So yeah. Eventually, Luffy had actually figured out that lightning was probably his Logi ability, and he told Dressrosa that rubber would be the greatest ally in this fight. Luffy tried to find anything similar to rubber on Skypiea, and was able to find something that was very interesting, being, well, not made of rubber, but very similar ability. So I had something in mind, but I'll try to find it on Google real quick. Alright, okay, couldn't find what I was thinking of, but screw it. Gold. Gold would be the greatest ally. But he made sure that they'll start to ready to use it. Sanji kind of puts it under his pant legs, but he doesn't really able to dodge lightning because he got better senses and speed and strength and everything just without the training. But yeah, so Sanji would dodge from lightning bolts and go for a kick, and it was not just let it hit him. But then as Sanji actually began having electricity connected through his leg, well, he kicked even just ready, just kind of spun going for another kick, and we saw just it's kind of confused Enel. Then suddenly he's taken on top of the head by Sanji. This made him drum back, holding his head, wondering what the hell just happened. Please kick across the jaw. Then flying off the boat, off whatever they're on, be caught, so he'll hold himself on. Then throw a lightning bolt at Sanji at full speed, and it hit Sanji head on, right in the chest. That's trying Sanji, but he's able to climb up off of that attack and dash forward as fast as he can. As we begin fighting Sanji, just being able to go taking it seriously at full power. Eventually, Sanji was able to push Enel to his peak, and he actually began trying to go all just trying to use the giant Buddha thing. So yeah, but suddenly Gin and Zoro appeared, and Zoro actually got kind of a blade made of gold, or a blade dipped in gold. And Gin and him both they have gold on their weapons. Yes, they kind of have their weapons are made of metal, but then again they don't want to conduct on the weapons, but the gold's different. The gold is different in being it can conduct only on the gold's only able to conduct on the part that's, I guess the lightning's only able to conduct on the part that's dipped in gold. So yeah, or covered in gold. But we see just Gin being able to have enough lightning coat his tonfa once Enel had smacked Gin. But Gin was smacking the tree, and Gin jumped off the tree, hitting Enel right in the face with that lightning coated tonfa. That made Enel somewhat wobble. Then Zoro began doing the same thing, coating his sword in lightning and slashing him. So Zoro had done one of his onigiris, and then we'll cut Enel's chest wide open. That kind of slapped Enel right out of his giant Buddha form. And Enel's guys are watching this, and as Enel tried to get up, going for an attack that would destroy his whole area, suddenly Luffy just appeared in front of him. As the attack had landed, or about to land, Luffy just shot his gear third fist up in the air, and lightning conducted through his body, and Luffy's completely fine with it. He put his arm back down, saying that was a pretty weak attack. Even if it would have landed, Luffy would be the last one standing. Enel was kind of confused about this, so he attacked Luffy with his staff. He just grabbed it and bent it. Just caught it, bent it, then took it and hit Enel across the face with it. Or he tried to, but it went through him. I thought of Logia. So he dashed right at Enel and proceeded to give him the hands of disrespect as hard as possible. And Enel's pouring blood everywhere. Luffy just punches him in the face over and over again. And he uses Gear Second to avoid lightning, moving at lightning speeds. Then Enel came and see Luffy's just being hit over and over again. By the time he's done, he just punches Enel into the ground full force, and he wins. Then with the rest of Enel's guys wandering around, Luffy just tells Robin to use Clutch. These guys will be a nuisance and enemies to Skypiea. But then when she can see she was Clutch on them, killing them, and Luffy just runs around taking everyone as fast as he can. By the time he's done, he attacks the ship, and they report Skypiea that Enel's been taken care of. Gunf also go to Enel's body, just to make sure that this tyrant can never terrorize Skypiea again, and kills him. So yeah, let's go. So yeah. This is Underwater 7 again. If going to use the same way, up all the way. Well, first off, Big Top is a bit better prepared ship than the Mary. Plus, there's actually a proper shipwright, being Luffy. And it also tells Usopp how to take care of it. And Kobe doesn't know how to take care of a ship himself. these two are actually able to, well, at least three are able to take care of the ship. So when they get it, it was told no, you don't need to. The ship was going to make it to the next island, but it'd be really hard to keep it maintained. You just need to replace it a few parts and a lot more parts of it. So yeah, so they're told to replace a few things. So yeah. Pause. But yeah, so Water 7, they kind of wander around. And Usopp still does, well, people try to rob Usopp. Usopp's able to somewhat run away because he knows he can't take on that many people. But with help from Kobe, actually was being learning the basics of Soru, and he uses to escape and turn to the ship, saying people are trying to beat him up. It's basically the ship. He uses Zoro and Gin, drinking sake on the ship, and sees all the guys around it just taken down. Eventually, the guys who are chasing Usopp arrive, seeing all the guys taken down, and see two guys on the boat just drinking sake, and Usopp is putting the money away. But then they jump on the boat, and they see Usopp, Ishino, so Usopp. So he just appears in front of them, and he sort of hits one in the chest full force, and flying off the boat, and kicks the other one in the face, knocking him out. Usopp just didn't fight back because he's holding money and didn't want to spill it, even $1 or one berry. But yeah, now we go forward, going all the way on to the Frankie family. Just one night, while Strats are just up, eating dinner. They hear Frankie just yelling for Luffy because he doesn't know who the Strats are now. Once he got the bounty poster. Luffy walks over to the edge of the boat, asking what he wants. And Frankie then says, "Fight me. You guys beat up a lot of my crew, and not my crew, but a lot of my guys. And now we're seeing who the stronger leader is. And if I win, I say I take your whole crew. Just even if you were stronger, I'm not agreeing to that deal." Frankie suddenly fires off the Kude vent at Luffy. Luffy just swats his hand at the vent, blowing it away. Not blowing it away, but dispersing all the wind. I think that was a little too easy. Frankie jaw drops as the strongest attack, but Luffy just appeared right in front of him, hitting him in the chest so hard that he dented Frankie. Frankie falls to his knees, coughing, as well as there's a giant dent in Frankie. Everybody in the crew begins panicking for Frankie. Luffy says, no worries. And if you're cyborg, let me figure this out. In typical cartoon way, Luffy puts his hand on Frankie's mouth and tries to feel around looking for the dent. He does that, is able to buff it out. Frankie's just choking as he just Luffy pull his hand out. But yeah. But yeah. But I don't really know where else to go, and besides Robin's leaving CP9. But well, she kind of has bond with Luffy because she said he does need her, and that she needed him in an equal way. I think Luffy is someone that she genuinely needs, and and Luffy needs her. Well, she's nonetheless a note on Luffy's Luffy's room. He looks at the note, and he uses his second, dashing all the way to the train place. But he has Gin and Zoro in both arms and Sanji on his back. He ran over. Sanji picked him up, and grabbed Gin and Zoro and just kept running. Eventually, he had thrown Zoro and Gin on the boat and threw Sanji on the train, saying, "Get Robin back." Sanji heard that. He's like, "All right, deal, Captain." And Gin's Zoro "If we want it, we'll do it." And they're all under weapons. There always is. Gin had one tonfa, and Sanji just doesn't have a weapon. He has his legs. So yeah. Sanji would go on top of the train, and if someone kick it hard enough, actually just destroy the ceiling and just appear in front of the noodle guy, but drop him with blades. These are two kitchen knives and destroy them all. And Zoro just wants to get stronger now because Sanji was using a quote unquote sword. So yeah. Luffy was already on the tracks and dashed forward as fast as possible, but as he about to fall in the water, and Frankie pulled him out of it, saying, "There's an extra sea train. You can get your crew. We're going to go after them." We did just that, telling them all what's going on. Iceberg wasn't shot because Robin's "No, I can't do that. My captain will know it's me." He's about as smart as me, I'd say. It's overestimating Luffy, but CP9 doesn't want to take the chance, so they don't allow Robin to do the shooting. Actually allowing them to actually not execute it properly, allowing Iceberg to actually have the shot missed. But doesn't blame Luffy for it because Luffy doesn't know that's illogical. And he honestly is pretty close to Robin's intelligence. It's just he relies more on common sense than basic intelligence. So yeah, if he tried to apply his basic intelligence more, he'd be about as smart as Robin. So yeah. But I guess just when Luffy has his whole crew, they chase after the sea train with CP9 on it, and Luffy's just more sitting on top of it, just always like waiting for them to catch up. But back to Zoro, Sanji, and Gin. They've been dropping with literally every CP part. So they get to like CP9. Gin face off against Blue Nose. Blue Nose just tries to goes like a punch. But you sees Gin just punch him in the chest, and Gin's like, you're slow and you're weak. You're durable too, but someone on our ship already uses Rokushiki, and I know for a fact I can break this. So yeah, so as Gin's punch had made Blue Nose stumble back, Blue Nose coughing. He's only kicked in the chest by fucking who was it? Kicked in the chest by Gin. That's why I was struggling with that. So yeah, we see Gin we can Blue Nose at the ground, as Blue Nose just unconscious. And see Zoro fights against Kaku and wins pretty easily. Kaku doesn't have Delphi yet, so Zoro won a lot easier. So yeah, and Blue Nose could not use his Rokushiki in the train. Hakaku couldn't use Rokushiki in the train, so he lost a lot worse. So yeah. And Zoro, before he finished, said that 3-sword is superior to 4-sword style. 4-sword was impractical. Then Sanji had proceeds to fight against Jabra. And Sanji already has with a bit of training on their way down from Skypiea, he actually was unable to unlock his Doflamingo. When Jabra went to attack Sanji, just spun around using an activated Doflamingo in a split second, and it knocked out Jabra in one go. So yeah. Now this is these three versus in power. I'd honestly compare them to Luffy, and then if they just push their limits, they're on the level of Gear 2nd Luffy. I'm talking about canon Luffy, not this Luffy who'd mop them all in seconds. Luffy's aware of every single one of his crew members' weaknesses and doesn't know that Zoro would never fight him. Even if Zoro did, he'd lose. Because Zoro doesn't have the heart to destroy his captain unless his captain truly deserved it. Or asked him for it. So, yeah. Pause. But yes, Zoro, Sanji, and Gin, they're all equal in power, and Luffy's title actually being somewhat of a monster above his hands, or being his associates, being Gin, Sanji, and Zoro. Well, those three are the monster trio, and Luffy isn't really, he's kind of a monster in his own league, which isn't really too untrue. But those three will drop the rest of CP9 until it's all three of them versus Lucci. And like I said before, they're all about as strong as Gear 2nd Luffy if they push their limits. Sanji just pushed his limits recently, unlocking Doflamingo. So his limits are now open, and he's on level Gear 2nd Luffy. Gin being more or less warming up. Till eventually his body will begin producing a decent amount of heat, and he begins striking with his tonfas, catching chatboxing with his tonfas, so fast that they begin sparking into the air. And Zoro was out to bust out his Ashura, but then decided he shouldn't. They'll bust out into a different technique of a low-level Ashura being 6-sword style. And kind of called it half of Ashura, or Ashura 1/2. So with that, he burst at Lucci, what they all did, and they cut down Lucci. Well, they destroyed Luffy in one combined attack. Someone just with one good Doflamingo to the chest. Gin just did a few strikes to the chest of Lucci, and each strike with this more sparking ability, the Tonfa, it allowed miniature explosions. Then allowing Zoro to use half of his Ashura, which is actually exactly on the level of Gear 2nd Luffy going all out, but pre-timeskip. Then they completely defeated Lucci, and go to Robin, unchaining her. Then Zoro would stab his sword right through the ground of the floor of the train, setting the tracks, and the train stops. Now Luffy would jump in front of the sea train, and that they're on, seeing the train stop in front of them, and as they're getting close enough, he makes sure to stop the train before they before they crash. So, as the train is stopped, Luffy would peek inside, seeing everyone defeated, and then when that wasn't defeated, they were all defeated. If they were waking up, Luffy just knocks them out and knocks them all out again. Luffy just goes to like Zoro, Sanji, and Gain, singing them, barely even roughed up with a few scratches, and singing them, giving Robin back. So yeah, Luffy asks what they should do next, and Robin says with this they won't stop coming after them. And Luffy then has an idea, saying, "Well, now he knows what to do next." Frankie asks what that means. Luffy then says he's declaring war on Enies lobby, on the world government themselves. That Luffy immediately got where the train was, and started up again until Zoro removed his sword. That began going. It's only the Straw Hat crew and Frankie, and a bit of Galila. Well, all the Galila and the Straw Hat crew plus Frankie. When they arrive, Frankie family took the train back because Frankie told them to. When they arrive, Luffy and the Straw Hats began dropping Enies lobby left and right as hard as possible, going all out, not holding anything back. But by the time they're done, they've been there for around 5 hours, and all of Enies lobby had been defeated. Luffy is covered in a bit of scratches, and even has like one knife poking out of his back, but he doesn't care about it. He pulled it out, throwing it to the side. Zoro kind of Luffy just a few minor wounds and one stab wound. He got shot once in the arm, but wasn't too fazed by it. The worst injury went to Usopp, who had almost a whole building fall on him, but he was able to hold it up till Kobe saved him. And that broke both of Usopp's arms because he had to hold it up for a while, and the crash, he kind of caught it, but broke him. And Kobe saved him. Usopp has 2 broken arms that are bleeding everywhere. That's like his worst injury. Yeah, Luffy deems Usopp's injury worse than his and Zoro and Gain's because they don't really care about theirs. Usopp's just crying, so yeah. Pandem had been beaten up by Robin, and then with the elephant sword, Luffy just held it and threw it into the water. He didn't really care about it. Phantom just jumped after it once Robin had kicked him over, not kicked him, but slapped him over the tower they were in, and he just grabbed his sword and held it up above the water. The elephants are done. They head back to Water 7, and well, they're all bandaged up. McKinley shocked that they all made it out alive without one casualty. And it was like, yeah, Luffy's close to death, having a knife almost pretty close to his heart, but the knife wasn't big enough to pierce through him completely. So yeah, now with this we move on, going to Garp meeting them. When the Garp burst in, about to hit Luffy immediately caught Garp's fist and then jumped out of the way. Or not jumped, but caught Garp's fist and just threw Garp to the side. And Garp then says good eye. And then attack Luffy over and over again, but Luffy just gets demolished, occasionally dodging. This person the crew had seen their captain being beaten down this badly. But it's like Garp using Haki, and Luffy does know that Garp probably has it, so as Garp just beats Luffy down using Haki, Luffy can barely even dodge it. But eventually Luffy was able to dodge one strike using Gear Second, and then yelled Gomu Gomu no pistol, or jet pistol, slamming it into Garp's arm so hard that Garp's arm felt like his arm was dislocated, but then realized that's why Mihawk deemed Luffy very accurate. If he wanted to take chances in battle, well then this was the chance he was going to take. Luffy jumped away, and then we see Garp just jump at Luffy again. Then as Garp and Luffy are about to collide fists, this is what they do, it creates somewhat of an explosion. So, as the fists collide, the house they're in is somewhat blown away, and Luffy and Garp just keep going at it. It resembles like Z versus Luffy from the movie film Z. By the time they're done, Luffy just painting and sweating, covered in blood, and Garp is covered in a few scratches. So yeah. So by the time they're done, Luffy just passes out, because Zoro had caught Luffy, and Garp said it was a good fight. Helmeppo took the place of Kobe for Garp, so yeah. And Helmeppo is about as strong as him and Kobe combined in canon. But yeah. Well, I guess we move on to the Floating Triangle / Thriller Bark arc. They meet Brook, that goes the same way. Most of Thriller Bark isn't really that memorable because Luffy can easily defeat Moria with no effort. So, yeah, they met Brook. Brook goes with them to defeat Moria. And with, Absalom, Usopp has been trained a bit more with observation Haki because Luffy saw that Usopp could use it better. So Brooks very little observation. Usopp's very little observation hockey. He's able somewhat to see Absalom running in, but sneaking into like the room, and well, Usopp felt like in when Nami went in like behind her, but then Usopp felt his presence was off. Immediately when he opened the door, but didn't look, yelling, "Nami, someone's in there with you." Suddenly, Nami's arm was grabbed, but she's already ready for this, and uppercut Absalom immediately, knocking him out. So she's Usopp, and like when she was looking, his eyes were shut. So yeah, when Absalom would get back up in a second, Chopper saw him. The Zephyr was like inactive. Chopper slammed his fist down on Absalom's head, full force, knocking him out, almost killing him. Dr. Hogback would just rush in, as long as Nami's using a towel, but see Absalom just taken down. I'm wondering what happened. Nami then yells like everyone get out. They all do that as Dr. Hogback is the one in there with this I guess robot zombie probably sex doll thing, and that's when like she uses like thunder tempo, making the whole room like because it's still covered in water, and it knocks out Dr. Hogback and kills the zombie thing. That they leave, and Chopper makes her destroy every bit of research in this building, because it's a disgrace. Now with this, they move on, all the way on to, well, we're going to go Sanji and Gin now, because those two are finally teamed up, and they're fighting against all of Absalom's zombies. Running against them all until they get to Lola, and Gin says he'll drop her. Sanji doesn't have the heart to kill a woman. And he says, well, you don't have to do it either. So Gin just like slams his Tonpa into like Sanji's shin, making Sanji jump back in pain. And Gin slams his Tonpa right through the head of Lola the hippo, and actually kills it. Sanji holds his shin, saying, "You have to hit me in the shin with that thing." And finally, Gin says, "Yes, or else I can save our lives." So with this, they move on. Lola is proud to get her shadow back, and as she wonders what's happening, she goes over to where like the main place of Thriller Bark is, seeing Dr. Hogback's whole building is destroyed, seeing Absalom's whole room being destroyed itself, and we just move on to, well, now Luffy, Zoro, Kobe, and everyone else. That's the Luffy, Zoro, Luffy, Zoro, Frankie, Kobe, and Robin, and Brook. Well, Brook's on his own, so Luffy, Zoro, Robin, and Kobe and Frankie. But what about their top? Not the top. Their ship. Their Sunny. Well, Frankie realized it had to be replaced, but he started to replace a few parts, then replace the whole ship in general, making it a lot bigger. So yeah, the ship is a lot bigger. Then we'll imitate all of them. But back to the Srot. So with this, they all proceed to basically just drop any zombie in their path. So it comes all the way down to Luffy versus Moria. And Zoro had beaten Ryuma pretty easily, actually. Or at least the zombie Ryuma. And Luffy beat Moria in like one go, because Moria wasn't Logia, it was just a basic paramecia. Luffy beat in front of him, kicking him in the gut full force, knocking him out. And with oars, Luffy did, to make sure that Moria can never find use of this zombie again. He proceeds to make sure to take out all the bones. So when Moria, even if he wanted to use oars again, he had to make repairs and prosthetics for this giant, for this ancient giant. So all that, he threw the bones to bury them all into their bark, but somewhere that Moria would never look. When he's done, little Moria had woken up, realizing that oars is nothing but a giant sack of skin, and I said Luffy took out all the bones. It was disgusting, but Luffy did it. And with this, they leave, as Perona was taken down by Usopp once he encountered her and her zombies. It basically just like took down Perona herself, making sure, because like, he wasn't that negative of a person, but still was somewhat cowardly and nervous. Somewhat, not constantly. He beat Perona, took down the zombies, covered in a bit of bruises now, but still, he won. His arms are still kind of broken, but still, he has legs. So, using his legs, he beat Perona, then proceeded to beat down her zombies by kicking them as hard as he can until eventually he's able to retreat, then drop one thing they called, the salt gunpowder star. Using his very broken arms, he kind of just was able to somewhat drop it on the building, making a giant explosion full of salt, and it was also a lot heavier, but still, he's able to lift it barely. So it was dropped, all the salt was spread everywhere, and took out the zombies. As the Srot leave with Brook and their crew, they get to Sabaody. Pause. So they all get to Sabaody. While they're there, they proceed to chill. But the bounties. Luffy was previously at 115 million, but then with him dropping, not him, but there's some people he supposedly leagues above, as they drop these CP9 members, all of them, every single member of the Cyberpole besides CP0. Then Luffy leading an assault on Enies' lobby and winning. His bounty jumped all the way up to a bit above Kid, because he led assault on Enies' lobby that succeeded, and the Buster Call was never succeeded. The Buster Call was never called, so yeah. Then with the strength of his crew and him supposed to be stronger than them, his bounty shot all the way up to 350 million. 350 million. Behind him is Zoro, who's actually around 300. Actually, I'd say exactly 300 million. Then Gin is tied with him, and Sanji's tied with him. So 300 million for Sanji, Zoro, and Gin. And what's your trio? Then behind them, they have Robin, who's she almost killed Spandam, so you got a bit higher bounty. Plus her knowledge of a lot of things. Also, they still have Pluton, so that's up the bounty, because she might know where it is, because she can poneglyphs. Bounty for Robin is a little over 100 million. I'd say around 15 million, replacing Luffy's old bounty. And then we have Kobe right below her at 100 million. Then we would have Usopp, who's at around 90 million. Nami is at around 66 million, her original bounty place. Brook, let's say is at like 50 million. 50 million. Chopper is at around 2,000 berries. But this kind of would end most of it. So, yeah, this little crew bounty. Well, Frankie, he's also at around the same bounty as Brook. Yeah, so with this, we can move all the way on to Threats. Well, and everything goes the same way up until, like, Kami getting kidnapped, because around the time that should happen, well, Kobe had a lot of time to spare and hang out with Kami constantly, so that's real quick. So, as Kobe's hanging out with Kami, well, they figure out that they're the same age and actually begin talking a bit, and eventually they're talking like flirting. And with these two, Kobe actually finding someone who's interested in him for a while, and Kami finally feeling neutral that isn't, someone that's creepy. Kobe's actually genuinely nice. Well, they kind of leave the kidnapping spot to head back to the ship and Kobe's bedroom on the ship, so, yeah. The person looking to kidnap Kami, what he found was some pink-haired kid naked with her, so, yeah. I don't know how that works, but it happened. And so we're looking for Kobe and Kami until they went to the ship just to hear loud noises. And Luffy and Sanji immediately ushered everyone off the ship. Immediately ushered them off the ship. Confused Chopper. Till Luffy then said, mating's happening. Chopper immediately said, ew, Kobe, that's disgusting. But they just ran out, so yeah. Now with this, well, everyone kind of just headed off the ship, and they kind of wander around for a bit. Eventually, Luffy can figure out there's a kidnapper nearby, because the guy was, like, just hiding on a tree. Luffy spied on him, hear what he said, and Luffy just one-shot him, actually just, like, put your hand through the tree, and then hit the guy in the back of the head, knocking him out. This Luffy looked for, like, the house where they're doing, not the house, but the building where they're selling people. Using all the money they got from Skypiea, and the money they had in general from Buggy's ship itself, they had a little over 5 billion berries. With this money, they began looking at people to buy, and eventually, not looking people to free. They can buy them and break the collars off of them as hard as they can. Not as hard, as easy as they can, like just as fast as possible. Eventually, they'll get all the way to the Giant, then Jean Paul. Well, first they buy the Giant, free him, then they buy Jean Paul, then they buy Rayleigh. Once the things are done, they free them immediately. They take the three outside, and that was honestly most of their money. So yeah, well, actually no, probably wasn't, because Rayleigh's an old man. The Giant was expensive. Then John Paul was expensive because he's buff. Let me pause. All right, so the Straw Hats would end up going to, well, first it cost them around let's say 800 million berries to buy Jean Paul, and exactly 1 billion to buy the Giant. Then they buy Rayleigh for like 30 million berries at the most. He's just a muscular old man. He was a bit expensive. But yeah, so as those three are freed, he really asks why they do this, and he says, well, you guys seem like, well, you're old, so you probably don't have much time left, and you shouldn't live that in captivity. Jean-Paul, you seem miserable, and you're a giant. You would not have anywhere to fit in. Head back to Elbaf, something. If he's aware of Elbaf, he knows where that is. He doesn't know where it is. He doesn't know of it. But yeah, so eventually, like, why don't you free anyone else? Like, oh, first we can't spend that much money, but we're allowed to cause chaos. So give me a second. Luffy walked back in, yelling that the slave auction is over. Law and Kid looking at Luffy, a little confused. Till I was like, who the hell are you? You can't end it. Luffy says, Gin, do your thing. Suddenly, from behind the announcer guy, Gin thundered something into his head full force, almost killing him. That all the slaves immediately run out, as Rayleigh had actually snuck back using conquerors to help them to free everyone. Use such a large burst to unlock all the collars. When everyone escapes, they run out, basically just taking down anyone, like killing anyone in their path, like celestial dragons where they avoided them. Then Charles pulls out a gun on Luffy and fires a bullet. Luffy catch it. Then just one-shot Charles into the ground using Gear Second to just enhance his strength. No one want to kill him, but still shatter his face. Charles on the ground, he can't even breathe. But his dad tries to go after Luffy, while Gin tells Zoro to get him. And Zoro beats the hell out of Charles' dad. Sister's just handled by Gin himself. So yeah. That Kid Pirates and the Heart Pirates look at Luffy and his crew like monsters, because this was their plan. So yeah. So with this, the Strats eventually leave, seeing the Marines outside. Well, Luffy, Gin, and Zoro do. The Strats were on the ship, making sure Kobe and Kami weren't going to be caught in a bad moment, so they were outside the ship, just so no Marines could break in. Richard Kobe would walk out, wondering what's happening, because he was like talking, and saw Strats just sitting there, and Sanji has that angry look on his face, and Kobe, knowing how Sanji acts, realized that all the Strats know what happened on the ship. Sanji then starts up Kobe, saying, "Me and you are going to have a talk later." A flaming talk. That's when Kobe immediately ran back down to his room, saying, "Kami, please help me." And she said, "Sorry, can't be there." So, yeah. That Marines do attack the Strat ship, but all the Marines are dropped with no effort. See? Now eventually we should go on to see, like, the Straw Hats first, they abuse Marines, so does the Luffy, Kid, Law, trio. Then Luffy just looked like Gin and Zoro took down, like, a few rear admirals with no effort. But then we should go all the way on to Kizaru. Kizaru still beats the hell out of like, the Straw Hats, but then Rayleigh helps them, and Luffy actually realizes that Rayleigh's, like, a good opening. Luffy fights against Kizaru. Realizes that Kizaru's a advanced Logia like Crocodile. He does have no natural weakness, but his darkness, and that's still not going to be a weakness because he's an admiral. And for the way, he doesn't know that Ace was captured, so he can't. So he tries to call the Whitebeard Pirates, but they don't pick up. So he's like, shit, they're unavailable. But with this, Kizaru does beat up Straw Hats, and Kuma still sends him flying. But Kuma got a different request from Sabo. He told Kuma to send Luffy flying all the way to Amazon Lily. We'll be waiting there. Hancock basically was, she met with the Dragon. The Dragon broke into her castle and then told her that he's Makidi Dragon, the leader of the Revolutionary Army. He requests that him and his right-hand man, Sabo, are given sanctuary for a few days. They need to meet with someone. There's another man, but is that okay? Knowing who Dragon is, she actually is an honor, but please don't talk to any women here. Just don't talk to them at all. He agrees, and now back to Luffy. Luffy stopped all the way to Emerald Lily, but Dragon's waiting there. Sabo thought it was a good idea that I had to wait there, so that would be a place no one ever think to look. And Gin was sent flying. I'll say probably. Say Gin was flying to fucking. I'll say Gin was sent flying with Sanji. So yeah. So as he's sent flying with Sanji, well, Kobe sent flying. Actually, with how Gin and Zoro are, I don't say Gin goes to Zoro, but Gin wouldn't learn anything there. At best, he learned Haki, and that's about it. So I'll say Gin isn't flying to fucking... think about where and when. Frankie. He goes to Frankie. Kobe heads out with Sanji. Yeah. But yeah. Luffy lands. Well, first, with Robin being with Luffy, it's Luffy and Robin heading to Amazon Lily. So it was Luffy and Robin land. Eventually, Luffy had somewhat realized that Robin's close to him, so he actually grabbed onto her and held her in place. Well, she wasn't behind him; she was ahead of him. We saw that he just mustered the courage to actually use your second, shooting his arms out. Doesn't care that his arms are being basically skinned out, the skin off his arms being peeled away rapidly. Robin all the way into his current, and just held on to her until they landed. When they landed, Luffy's arms were pouring blood, and he didn't really care about that. Robin was able to wrap one of his arms and just tear off her sleeve and wrap it around Luffy, so the bleeding had stopped. But that dragon saw the crash, walking over, seeing Luffy with his arms pouring blood, and realized that Luffy had saved Robin because she wasn't damaged at all, besides a few scratches that was obviously from a few days ago. And Luffy made sure that she was completely safe, and that probably risked with him tearing his arms out of the current to pull Robin towards him. So Dragon will bring Luffy into the city. Everyone's questioning why Dragon's doing that. Why is our man here? Because Dragon mainly hung out outside the city, outside Amazon Lily, or kind of on the edge. The Bullet's no, I left them in here. That's Monkey D. Dragon. Be careful. But Luffy's given medical care, and she asks what happened, and Robin tells the whole thing. I'm sure that Luffy's someone who's willing to protect his crew or random people, which is what Robin told her about everything they've been through. You know that Luffy's actually an honorable man. An honorable man. This Luffy's arms are given medical treatment, and the skin wasn't completely peeled off, but still, a lot of it was leading to that excessive bleeding. So yeah. But when Luffy does wake up, he sees Sabo, hugs him, so he sees his dad, doesn't hug him, but talks to him. But once he gets everything he needs to know, he hears about Ace being captured via Boa Hancock. Well, Sabo did say he has 3 brothers, being Luffy, one being Ace. When he hears about from Boa, Boa walks into Luffy, sees Luffy just talking to Den and Mushi. And he's working here, hears Whitebeard's voice, asking Luffy to go check Impel Down. Then he'll check Marineford. Luffy says sure. Luffy hangs up, and Sabo asks if that was Whitebeard himself. He says yeah, and he's gonna head Impel Down. Robin says she's going with Luffy. Luffy says no, he's doing this with Sabo and no one else. That Boa, realizing how caring and how badass Luffy looks in this moment, gets her crush on him. This Sabo actually asks Dragon to bring Robin to whoever they're going to be staying for the next while, or keep her here, one of the two. But still, they're going to be leaving. Now that Dragon would basically get Luffy, and Sabo, and Robin, because she goes with them, and they appear, well, it takes them a while, but they appear suddenly at Impel Down. Dragon uses fruit to help them travel a lot faster, but they couldn't see a thing because of how fast they were moving. But still, they were very protected. They arrive, they're at Impel Down. Well, they already bypassed all the Marines with the heavy winds. Right at the gates, Dragon already swooped down, all throughout Impel Down, and only was able to sweep to the camera room, taking out all the guards and destroying the cameras, and took down Domino. So yeah, now with that taken down, they run through it, and they're all safe. The Dragon eventually will stop Robin, and she's going back to Amazon Lily. This is a quest between brothers, and he'll make it be that way, or stay that way. Robin agrees with this, can't really defy Dragon, and she heads back to all the way to Amazon Lily. That Robin is trained by Boa Hancock. It's specifically Boa Hancock, because she doesn't like Robin being part of Luffy's crew, so Boa goes as hard as she can on Robin, but still Robin is able to bear with it. Which actually leads to Hancock having not a crush. I don't want to say was a crush, but a lot of respect for Robin. Like a ton of respect. So yeah. Now with this, Luffy and Sabo run through Impel Down pretty easily. Then comes to Magellan. Sabo beat Magellan once Luffy's able to distract him. Then with Magellan having an opening, Sabo took it, but using Haki to knock him out. So yeah. Now with this, well, we move on, going all the way on to just, well, Luffy and everyone retreating all the way to, well, Marineford. Not retreating, going to Marineford. Same crew and everything. Just in addition being Sabo. So with this, on the way to Marineford, Buggy questions Luffy and how his journey has been so far and how Luffy's bounty is so high. Like, how's it set high so fast? It's only been a few months. Luffy says, it could be good. This is going to be one hell of a story. So everyone sit down, except for Jinbei, because Jinbei's sailing, and he tells them everything. Jinbei thinks that's one impressive quest, and does deem it a very cool one at that. But Luffy had called in a few allies while at Impel Down, and that's how he has the same crew with him. But also, well, in addition to members of Baroque Works, additional ones that weren't captured, possibly. Like Miss Doublefinger, Miss Gem, everyone. Like every single number besides Miss Merry Christmas and the ones that we didn't meet. Like to the ones that started Loguetown, Miss Merry Christmas, and the ones that we didn't meet in canon. Or the ones that we didn't meet in the anime or manga. Yeah, so basically everyone else. When they arrive at Marineford, they crash and land. But then, well, when they crash, Wyvern says it's about time you arrived here. They arrived a bit earlier because Luffy's able to clear clear Impel Down a lot faster than he is in canon. If Magellan doesn't have hockey, Luffy and Magellan are about equals. So he cleared Impel Down very fast. That was by the time they're done. Luffy just runs through everyone in Impel Down in Marineford until he gets to Ace with Sabo. When he comes like Smoker, just Sabo one shots him with like a hockey kick to the chest and takes him down. And Luffy just proceeds to run through everyone he can, going as fast as he can. And he doesn't get hit once at this time. Eventually he comes across Mihawk, and suddenly a sword is thrown right at Luffy, and Luffy catch it, and Mihawk's holding his sword out, saying, fight with me again. Luffy got nervous, but gets in stance, then charges right towards Mihawk again, and these two fight. Luffy determined the swords a bit to actually learn his own style, and learned it pretty fast as he mastered it. But turns to Mihawk, eventually sees Vista about to charge. Vista, she made a noise for make Luffy look. So I'm coming, Luffy jumped in the air, and he allowed an opening for Mihawk to get another slash in his face from Vista. Vista questioned who the first card was from, and said Luffy. He landed on Vista's shoulders, jumping over Mihawk, and as fast as he can somewhere else. So as Luffy just proceeded to run through everyone as fast as he can, using the sword, cutting down everyone he can. Eventually, Inazuma was able to make Luffy a platform all the way up to Ace. But then Garp go over a punch, until he's suddenly just basically tackled by Sabo, being sent flying to the ground. Luffy using his second to his full ability, dashing right up, right towards Sengoku specifically. Then Sengoku's like, "Oh, you're coming towards me." But then didn't realize something. Luffy's arm was stretched out. Thought he was going towards Ace and looked towards Ace, but the arms weren't going towards there. Luffy swung his arm, took out the platform completely, the legs of it at least. Ace is falling. Luffy immediately broke like the shackles, but broke the platform until it shattered, allowing Ace to be freed. That Ace had landed like right in Sabo's arm, and Sabo threw him towards Mr. 3, who made like a key to free him. Ace is freed. Then on three brothers, the ASL trio, versus literally every single Marine there. Sabo's the one that can use most of the hockey. The best user of hockey, fights against Garp, who attacks them. Ace able to somewhat hold off Akainu, and you see there's a trio. They're stronger than basically virtually everyone there, until it includes the Admiral, Sengoku, Garp, and Tsuru. So yeah. But eventually the war had actually ended in a standstill when Shanks had arrived. Ace isn't dead, and well, Ace has like a giant burn mark on his chest from Akainu, who would use Red Dog on Ace. But Ace was able to shoot as flames as high as possible, as Luffy had yelled, "Go, you'll make it as hard as you can." And magma can't match flames in heat. So Ace does do just that, boosting flames to their max, and only leads to a giant burn mark, not a hole through his chest. But yeah, he actually did make sure Akainu was the one tired before him, because he actually said he had the endurance advantage. So yeah. When Akainu was done, he was just panting, showing Ace has a good technique. And seeing that the younger brother is the smartest one out of them all. But then looked at Luffy, who had took down, even Vice Admirals were dropped below Luffy's feet, despite them having hockey, and Luffy doesn't have a bit of it. Well, besides observation. Hannibal then attacked Luffy, but Luffy just one-shots him up with no effort. Because Luffy has no one has connection to helm up. Luffy doesn't have one connection to whatever. Well, so helm up trying to shoot Luffy and Luffy catching the bullet, throwing it back. So yeah. By the time everyone's done, Luffy's just sitting on a pile of guys. Then he just sits down. Well, he beat a pile of guys and sat down on them all. Whitebeard had fought Inu, but, well, first off, he didn't exhaust himself and there's no hole through his body. Ace made sure of that. Sabo had beaten everyone he can. So, yeah. Done, they all leave. Marineford, Luffy sees Shanks again, and Luffy eventually smells Shanks and just says his name quietly until Luffy had passed out. Shanks caught Luffy, then threw Luffy on the boat, telling Luffy he did a good job. This when he tells Whitebeard, Ace, and Sabo he'll take Luffy somewhere else. Just be careful. Just be careful on our way out. With that, they all leave. In the Moby Dick, by the way, well, actually, no, with the Moby Dick's condition, I assume the whole Whitebeard crew have to find some way out, either on marine ships, allied cruise ships, or Shanks' ship. So, one of the two options. So, allies are Shanks, and, well, Ace and Sabo took Shanks, Whitebeard took an ally, so yeah. Now with this, well, they all escape, and they all retreat to Amazon Lily. Well, not they all do. They all, actually, no, let's say Sphinx Island to be safe. Actually, that's a little too far. Ruskina. Ruskina is where they retreat to. But make sure that the ships are all hidden. Well, first, literally the only people that aren't dropped off there are probably just Luffy. Well, Luffy's dropped off there, but he doesn't drop off there. He dropped off at Sphinx Island. He's the one that's there. But Luffy, Ace, Sabo, Dragon, Robin, Boa Hancock, they're all on Ruskina. And, well, Luffy does have that Dragon X scar still. But as Luffy just proceeds to basically talk to them all, he's happy that Ace didn't die, and I'm happy that Ace has just one giant burn mark on his chest. Sabo's completely uninjured. He has a few scratches and shit that won't leave scars. But yeah. Now with this, we just go on to see just Luffy being in training with Rayleigh still on Ruskina. Observation hockey, you didn't really need much training. Like at best, it was a few weeks of training, and Luffy did that, and he did it perfectly. And that was by the time Luffy was done, he was like, all right, I'm done with observation. I need ornament and conquerors. Because by the time he's done, don't they choose training? He already trained conquerors, observation constantly. So I wasn't really trained him for 2 weeks. He already was able to tap in briefly to precognition, briefly, but not perfectly like Katakuri. So yeah, he had glimpses of it, and that's about it. Now, Jinbei proceeded to retreat Fishman Island, and Robin actually wanted to go with him, so she had an interest in Fishman karate. Well, Hancock said, "How about this? Well, Captain made 2 years. We'll be when they meet next. So, how about this? Just you train up here for 1 year, and then next year you'll train down there." Now Robin agreed with that. But also Dragon came checking on Robin and talked to her for a bit. Because they had an interest in, he had an interest in her. Not that kind of way. But yeah. Well, with this, Luffy's bounty shot up a bit after Marineford and after punching Carlos, then after Marineford as well. His bounty at around, let's say 700 million to be safe, because he defeated a ton of people that were very notable, being a lot of Vice Admirals, a lot of Rear Admirals. Basically every single position got the hands from Luffy. He almost killed Carlos with one punch. He defeated a lot more Marines than Sabaody, and yeah. Plus he broke an Impel Down and cleared it out in not even a day. And with equals with Magellan. So his notoriety is high. Plus he's an ally of Whitebeard, who's still alive because of a lot more medical treatment. So a lot of from Marco, everyone gave Whitebeard treatment, and he was still alive. Guys were over Blackbeard. Ace gave him the hint again. He wanted that rematch. He did it with Sabo. He won. But Blackbeard wasn't arrested because he was still classified as a warlord. He only came there to kill Whitebeard. That's about it. So he's still classified as a warlord till about 1 month later, where he left, saying he's a Yonko now. He said he's a Yonko now, and then he just to kill allies of Whitebeard while he was still recovering. With that, they classified him as a Yonko because of how much he killed. He killed more than 80% of Whitebeard's allies. Either he killed enough for some people to leave, or just killed them straight up. They either left or they were killed by Blackbeard. Or better yet, they became Blackbeard's allies in exchange for their lives, or they were killed. One of the two. Barely anyone chose first option. Barely anyone did, but a few of them did. So yeah, barely, but a few. That allowed him to become a Yonko. He's considered the 5th Emperor. So Blackbeard has the title of 5th Emperor, but Luffy will have a few words later. But yeah. So for 2 years, Luffy used to train with Rayleigh. After he met Shanks, he trained a lot harder. He had the inspiration to train because he's gonna meet Shanks again. But yeah. Also Sabo came by with Dragon. He Dragon trained Luffy as well. And so Luffy was able to tap into basically every single form of perfect hockey. He's already able to use Ryuo. He's tapping into Conqueror's coding. He knows about it, just doesn't know how to do it. He's a monster already. This is Gear 4th, and he has a minor form of Gear 4th, which he calls Shrink Man. He's able to channel in the side effect of Gear 3rd, shrink himself down. It's about the size of a dwarf, like the ones that you meet in Dressrosa. But the thing is, he's coded in hockey, and if he's to bounce around, defeating them all. He's like a let me check this real quick. He's like a 15-inch tall bounceman. This is kind of what he is, 15 inches tall and bounceman. He just needs to knock around anyone he can. So yeah, he wins like that. But he's pretty hard to see. But yeah, moving on, the Structure Unite, they head to Fishman Island. But Robin ended that problem at Fishman Island a while ago with the help of the Kuja. The Kuja helped Robin because she was their ally. And they all defeated Hody and his crew. So they're there, peaceful. Well, first they reunite at Sabaody. Zoro was able to learn hockey and actually be a bit stronger, because Mihawk had told Zoro that the cut on his cheek is from Luffy, the other one from Vista, who Vista was actually somewhat. Well, if Vista didn't have hockey, he's on par with Luffy in everything besides skill. But still, Luffy's trickiness makes him on par with Vista's skill. So yeah, he's pretty impressive. That makes Zoro just get a lot stronger because he's constantly compared to Luffy. Gin and Frankie will able to get upgraded Tonfas, but also will train a lot harder with Frankie, tapping into observation, and has that average armament hockey. So yeah, he's kind of learn armament hockey just through sheer willpower, and then talk to Frankie once he learned how to control it. But took Gin like 7-8 months to learn how to use armament hockey, but then took him another 4 to learn how to use it properly. And taught it to Frankie once he could use it properly. So it took Gin over a year to use armament properly, because he had no notable besides Frankie with him. But also Gin's Tonfa are a little bit different, as they can now extend, because they're now more robotic, or now more cybernetic Tonfa. Plus, the tip of it can be like a ball, a spike, just flat ends, kind of like battering rams. He has spike mode, javelin mode, where kind of he has ballpoint, battering ram, fucking harpoon, and that's about it. So ballpoint, battering ram, and harpoon. Yeah, that's it. Just those 3 modes. In the harpoon mode, it's obviously kind of like a harpoon, spiky, you can fire out. So yeah. So with this kind of Gin's mode, also Frankie can use armament hockey briefly. So yeah, he's not that good at it, but he can use it under control for a bit. Then Sanji kind of trained with Bonchan and Ivan for a bit alongside Kobe. And Kobe didn't really have the same effect on Sanji, where he turned into a girl for a bit, like dressed up as everything. He was trans for a week. That's about it. I don't know why made me laugh, but Sanji's like a temporary trans. Sanji didn't have that effect. Kobe didn't have that effect because he's experienced being inside of a woman for a while, and that didn't really make him have any changes. When Kobe reunited with Kami on Fishman Island, and they went back to that experience that they had 2 years ago. But yeah, now with this we should move on, going all the way on to the next arc being Punk Hazard, which ended pretty fast. Well, Kobe and Nami were the ones that were mainly angry at Caesar, so yeah, because not much else happened to everyone else. First off, Usopp didn't really. I'm gonna go like the training things. I can go to that. Do nothing on that. Something about that. Got straight to training because he just abandoned wanted to just train so hard he could get off the island by sheer force, and then nothing would eat him. He's just a tad bit buffer than Kano. Like, he's about as buff as Zoro because he just trained that much. He was already as buffy as he is pre-time skip. He's already as buffy as he is post-time skip when they got Sabaody. He's already that buff. He was trained like double as hard as he did in canon, making him as buff as Zoro is. It's not as strong as he is. So yeah. Nami's already decently strong, but then again, well, on with Area, she got a lot stronger with her climb attack and just all around. Brook still trained. He's also decently strong already, but then got a bit stronger with Zoro. Yeah, good things, everyone. So when they arrive all the way over to like just Punk Hazard, the arc ends relatively fast. Nothing notable happens. Like when Sanji and Virgo fight, Sanji won that by a landslide. So it was a pretty easy mop. So with that really easy fight, we just see Sanji who just leaves Virgo just unconscious there, and then eventually the smoke would just do or the gas just kind of turns Virgo into like one of those mummy things, like where he's just like all covered in that like white stuff, and he's just stuck there for all eternity. With this arc ending a lot faster than earlier, they leave. But Caesar with them alongside Momonosuke and Kanjuro. Or Kinemon, I mean. I don't want to say Kinemon. They leave with him. Fucking Kanjuro. But yeah. So with this, we go all the way over to Dressrosa. Honestly, that arc ended. Like, Luffy is leagues above Doflamingo by a lot. Like, on Luffy's first year of training with Rayleigh, he was already Doflamingo level. Like, exactly on his level. Only a few months he was already on his level. Then, after that year had passed, he's already above him. The other year was just overkill. The other year was just him becoming Katakuri level. Then now, once his training's complete, he is above Katakuri. Doflamingo has no chance. It's a stomp for Luffy. It's a wash. Then when Pearl gains fucking harpoon mode for his Tonfa, that one shot him. Like that one shot both of Pika's arms, like this destroyed them. On Zoro cut Pika in half. Then Gin throw one of his Tonfas, stabbing through Pika, and Zoro just finished it off and threw Gin's Tonfa back. Kobe beat up Dellinger pretty easily. Kobe also has hockey, so yeah. But his observation's a bit more fine-tuned about the level of Oshihime. But yeah, that's about it. But I think that's really all that happened. Just Doflamingo's violated by Luffy pretty easily. Like, everyone's watching Doflamingo's getting abused even within Awakening. Like everyone Doflamingo tried to use like his Awakening. You're saying Luffy was activated for the first time in the whole Dressrosa arc, and still he was defeated. And Luffy was using exactly half of his power to defeat Doflamingo. It took Luffy 50% of his power to defeat Doflamingo. Then 75% it would take 75% to beat Katakuri. 75% to beat Katakuri. That's about it. Just that much. Not much more. So yeah. Now with this kind of ends the whole Dressrosa arc with Doflamingo almost being killed by Luffy, who's using half his power, and still could move easily. I'm pretty sure fought Law previously, and Law was about the same as in power before, so yeah. Frankie beat Senior Pink, it ended in one shot, but like a very strong blast punch with hockey, sending him flying to the ground, and it beat him. So yeah. But we just move all the way on to, let's say, like the next arc being fucking Zoe. I'm trying to already did leave for Zoe. They also had Kanjuro with them now. So they climb Zoe, or Zunisha. Luffy climbed it himself alongside Kobe. When Luffy climbs it himself, he's able to use basically just jump. Kobe had mastered his Rokushiki himself as well. He knows all 5 forms. I think it's 5. Tekai, Shigan, Soru, fucking Rankyaku. What the fuck is the other one? Yeppo. Then Roku Ogan, so 6 of them, yeah, he measured all 6. Roku Ogan's like the thing that Lucci used on Luffy when he thought the fight was going to end, and Luffy just did the whole jet Gatling right after that and almost killed Lucci. And so Kobe has all of those. And so with this, I guess we just end that, and like most of the Zoe arc and the interesting thing happens. Plus, when Sanji's like was taken by Beijing, Sanji's like, yeah, sure, I'll come, and Ray's like, why are you so calm about it? So then like Sanji's like, oh my captain will rain hell upon Big Mom's island. Like, somebody's like, oh really? He'll rain hell upon the Yonko. So then Sanji's like, you didn't know he sank Enies lobby. Like, he sank it just because he took one crew member. They took one crew member on a ride, and they wouldn't even get there yet. He rained hell upon. He sank Enies lobby just because of that little thing. What do you think he'll do to Big Mom's islands? They struck Beijing, and Beijing told Big Mom that. Big Mom was like, okay then, well now we have to be careful because he sank Enies lobby over a small ride. Like, she's not like, was you heard how easy Doflamingo's beaten and how easy like Caesar's island was destroyed by Luffy? He's kind of curious on how strong Luffy is himself. But then with Whitebeard, he retired from being a Yonko, leaving Blackbeard as the 4th Yonko to replace him, as a new 4th Yonko. But Blackbeard had to train a lot harder to learn how to master Devil Fruit. So to basically like just to get behind the whole like Blackbeard not having a second Devil Fruit thing anymore, he kind of awakened his Devil Fruit if he didn't already. So he awakened it, and yeah, that's his thing. But with this, we should go all the way on to basically just Luffy and everyone else. When it gets to Big Mom's island. But Luffy actually did tell like they said like none of you are going to Wano just yet. Like you're all at least gonna stay with me till half this arc. So once they actually found out enough info on Sanji, Luffy told the ones that they're gonna go to Wano to leave. The ones with Luffy are the ones that the ones that went to Wano. Ones that went to Whole Cake Island with Luffy are, I believe it was. I shouldn't Google it so I don't get this wrong. Alright, so these were on Whole Cake Island: Luffy, Nami, Chopper, Brook, then the Minx, Peckhams, Pedro, and Carrot. The same group that has, the same group that heads to Whole Cake Island, but in addition, they'd also get Gin. So Gin heads with them as well. Kobe would head to Wano with the rest of the Straw Hats. And the thing is, Jinbei isn't there. Him and Robin already made a pact to be the Straw Hat crew. Then Luffy already asked Jinbei again when they got there, and Jinbei agreed. Jinbei already knows that being out of Big Mom is not the right idea. And Big Mom is here trying to convince him. Or he's here because Big Mom called him here to convince him. So yeah. But Luffy just mainly proceeded to beat down basically everyone on Whole Cake Island, sinking island after island, but making sure the inhabitants were off the island. He kind of called for an evacuation after beating whoever was there. But with Cracker was beat pretty easily, and the thing is, wasn't by Luffy, it was by Gin. Gin beat Cracker himself. Because Gin is exactly around Cracker level. Or, not exactly, but pretty close there. I don't know how Luffy was, but Nami helped him. So yeah, Luffy just left, saying, because they say they can handle it. So they all began just basically making sure innocents retreated off islands, and Luffy sank the island. Luffy sank around most islands, so like Whole Cake Island's like 35 islands, I believe. Luffy made it so it was around 27, and Big Mom was like, alright, a lot of my islands are already gone. He's here. And islands are getting overpopulated, so yeah. But yeah, so Luffy kind of just sank tons of islands. Then eventually it led to all that fight between like Big Mom and her family and Sanji's family. But like when Big Mom announced like why her crews were sank, her islands were sank. This kind of led to Sanji laughing, and Judge asked why Sanji was laughing. And Big Mom says, he's doing this, don't you? And that's immediately when like Sanji's like, yeah, my captain's here. And he's pissed. Big Mom's like, yeah, I guess so. But as they're discussing this, Jinbei walked in, laughing, saying, alright then, well, I guess it's time I leave, Big Mom. Big Mom asks why, and suddenly a face is shot right through the floor. all the way up to Big Mom's chin, sending her flying back down but to the ground. So as she hits the ground, and she kind of just rubs her chin, just like kind of like groggy, I guess. So with this, we basically just see, we basically just see like pause. All right, so Fish she's the floor to Big Mom, knocking her on the ground. Luffy just on the floor, telling Sanji that he handled his business. We'll be waiting long. That's gonna happen because Sanji still did fight Luffy, but Luffy just beat the hell out of Sanji over and over again, not wanting to hold back, making sure Sanji gets the message. In reality, it was more or less that's what Judge and his family thought it was. In reality, it was more or less just Luffy fighting Sanji, and just a way for him to pass on the message, like, hey, wait here, I'm gonna beat up all over kids and sink some islands. Just make sure you hold on a bit. But yeah, so like this, Sanji's like, oh, only around a day. What took you so long? Just Luffy and said, hey, don't yell at me. But suddenly, those big kids are sent flying through the window. Bill looks outside, seeing Monster Point and Chopper. You're seeing Gin sitting on top of Chopper. And just a lot of, just the straw crew that went to, Wano, not Wano, went to Islander there. And Pedro did fight against Tamago. At the time, he didn't blow himself up. The moment he tried to, Gin just used his harpoon mode, like launching the bombs off of Pedro and swinging his harpoon around so it wrapped around Tamago, blowing him up and minorly injuring Pedro. It's a minor injury, not anything too badly. So yeah. But with this, we go on to see Luffy, who just proceeds to fight Big Mom using Ryuo and his observation haki. Eventually, his arm is about to be stabbed by Katakuri, but he caught the the spear, and threw Katakuri to the side, saying he'll fight Katakuri. Like Katakuri, all Big Mom needs to do is be distracted, or all Sanji needs to do is distract Big Mom for like a few minutes. That Sanji would do as Luffy said, and now Luffy and Katakuri transported to the mirror dimension by Baba Relay. Honestly, how strong Luffy is, so before 75% of Luffy is able to beat Katakuri, Luffy's still trained as hard as possible to beat Big Mom's strongest child because he doesn't know a lot about the Yonko and the crew. Yeah, so Luffy, at this point, now it takes 75% of his power to beat every single person in Whole Cake Island outside of Big Mom. Every single person I'm talking about civilians included. Actually, I'm kidding. That'd be too much. But for now, all it takes is around 58% of Luffy's power to beat Katakuri. Around that, a little more than half. But still, he defeated Katakuri, and yeah. By the time he's done, it took Luffy around 40 minutes. Luffy comes back out, seeing the whole chateau, with at least the islands on it and basically in shambles and burning. All civilians were evacuated by Nami and Chopper. They made sure that they were all evacuated to one island. Like 1 or 2 islands are outside, very far away, but yeah. But Luffy just mainly proceeded to fight Big Mom once he was done with Katakuri by throwing Katakuri in front of Big Mom. But Big Mom looked at Katakuri's body saying, Katakuri, you're defeated. Luffy walks over, holding his giant stash, wrapping around his face, or around his mouth mainly. But then throwing his jacket over Katakuri's body, not his jacket, Katakuri's jacket. Telling Big Mom to actually asking for someone to bring Katakuri out, making sure he's not really in anyone's eyesight, because he's ashamed of his face still. And, they agree. Well, she says, yeah, someone get Katakuri out of here. Brule does it by transferring to the mirror dimension and keeping him there. So yeah. Luffy will fight Big Mom for hours on end. Luffy's fight with Katakuri took around pause real quick. So Luffy, he's not as strong as Big Mom is, but still fought her for a while. He fought her for Katakuri it took him 38 minutes, but Cannon took him 12 hours. Well, for Big Mom, he fights her for around 10 hours straight. He didn't stop, and Luffy actually made it so it was enough for time for his crew to get their ship and escape. But as it was close enough, Jinbei eventually would have his ship nearby the water where the Big Mom's Island or Whole Cake Chateau is. So when Luffy would use a technique he had recently learned how to use. His arm flying down, and Visual Conqueror's Haki coding. This shocked Big Mom as Napoleon was about to be shattered, making her pull Napoleon away. He swung his leg around, hitting her right in the jaw with a Haki coding kick, sending her flying back and almost knocking her out. Without how lucky that kick was, it almost knocked her out. As Luffy jumped away onto Jinbei's boat, and the ship thing got coated in bubble, and then they went underwater all the way to the ship, and Luffy jumped on. Big Mom's crew was not actually chasing Luffy or Jinbei. and Jimmy's crew all on the boat. They were actually all safe. Big Mom was almost knocked out, and actually concerned siblings. This was when Kuro was defeated in only a few minutes. While Luffy fought Big Mom for hours on end, they already knew they had no chance, even as a group. Because like not even Luffy himself beat their whole crew. Like, it took like Gin, Chopper, Nami, and Brook to beat all of her kids. Besides Katakuri. So yeah. But with this, the Straw Hats all head to Wano. And I'm mostly going to say everything proceeds to be pretty normal. Like, everything proceeds to be pretty normal all the way up until it's like... Well, first off, Kobe, to actually get by, he became one of the guards of Orochi. Actually got the chance to meet Hiyori, and him and Hiyori got along pretty well. And Kobe actually encouraged Zoro to be one of the guards as well. Just make sure you don't give away your position. And that's kind of how it went. Gin eventually joined the Yakuza there, but saying he prefers Tonfa. So yeah. So he's like, yeah, I'm no good with the sword, but I'm going to Tonfa. So yeah. He proved his powers. He had beaten basically all the Yakuza, including Denjiro. Which was Denjiro? Hold up. Alright, he went by Kyoshiro. So Kyoshiro, he even beat Kyoshiro, and it was pretty impressive. So yeah. Eventually Zoro kept on training with his haki as much as possible, just get by. And that actually allowed him to actually unlock Ryuo, but briefly. He can't maintain it. But Luffy still put in Udon prison. He still fought Kaido. People that actually they knew that escaped were Zoro. With how strong the Straw Hats are individually, I don't think any of them would have actually quote unquote been killed. And Luffy knows this. So if in case you just think that he's worried that they're injured, that's his biggest fear. So yeah. So out of anger and fear, he fights Kaido. I don't think any of them are dead, but dead thinking they're injured. But yeah. Now with this, Kaido deemed Luffy very impressive, but still not strong enough. Even though Kaido was like, when Bird like human form, he was like wandering around with blood coming from his head. And everybody had knows Kaido bleeding, but they're still very concerned. But yeah. Now Luffy in prison. Well, first off, on his first day, he already escaped. We made sure to escape with a few people he thought it'd be fun to escape with. Well, first, he found Kawamatsu. Actually, first off, he used Conquerors to knock out all the guards around besides Queen. And Queen just simple like Conqueror's Haki Coding punch and took him down. It was a sneak attack, so yeah. We started to Kawamatsu. First, he would sneak into the cage and just talk to him in the shadows. Kawamatsu revealed who he is, and Luffy's like, alright then, I'll break you out of here. Kawamatsu asked how. Luffy was wearing a collar, and Kawamatsu's the wall surrounding where he was suddenly just blown apart. And he told Kawamatsu to leave, and go find these people. And he gave first he gave Kawamatsu a picture. Oh yes, drawings all the tried. Luffy's not that bad at drawing in this one. He gave Kawamatsu a picture saying, go find everyone here. Find someone who looks like them, or know what they look like, and just go as fast as you can. Make sure you cover yourself up though. You're Kappa. It's not that hard to notice you. Immediately Kawamatsu's cell doors opened, and met with guards, and they see Kawamatsu escaped, but Luffy's still there. They all fire bullets, but they all bounce off Luffy. Or they all shatter or bounce off Luffy, because hockey and, rubber. But Luffy eventually had fought regarding Udon prison after he freed Kid, and Kid eventually had looked for Killer and found him. Then, by the time the Kid and Killer are brought back, Kid suddenly spins around, grabbing the guard and killing him. And then they rampage across Udon, and Luffy had fought Queen. He won pretty easily, honestly. Actually, not pretty easily, but still won. And he's still a lot stronger, so yeah. So with this, the Straw Hats all eventually unite later, and it leads up to the attack on Onigashima. And Luffy fighting Big Mom for 10 hours straight. He's like, yeah, Luffy fought Big Mom to a standstill. So yeah, it was like called Luffy fought Big Mom to a standstill, and Morgan stretching, Luffy almost knocking her out, saying, and Luffy had the upper hand till he had to retreat because his crew was injured. Like, yeah, so Luffy would have won if his crew wasn't injured. So yeah, it's like it was painting the picture that Luffy almost won the fight. It's just he had to leave because of his crew. So Luffy's bounty shot up to matching Blackbeard, matching Teach. This is a bounty, not the 1.5 billion. It's 2 billion. This is his bounty. So yeah. Once he had beaten Queen, he left Udon prison with Kid and Killer. Kawamatsu found most of the Straw Hats, found them a place to meet in private, and yeah. But there's not really much else to do, I guess. So Onigashima, so I'll sneak in. Contra still does try to kidnap Momonosuke, but Luffy had a better plan. Because he already had a bad feeling about Kyojuro. Using observation haki, he's able to find out that Kyojuro wasn't a good guy. So he's able to find out Kyojuro was kind of weird and always lying or either hiding his true emotions. Kobe was the one that told Luffy about the emotion thing, and Luffy's like, alright, if you're hiding it, then something's off about him. So always told Momonosuke to carry a knife. Then immediately when Kanjuro revealed himself a traitor, he immediately grabbed Kid, throwing him at Momonosuke, telling him there's a knife, use it. We start talking to Kid. Kid was like, okay, fine, I'll save the kid. So with that, he'll just hand out using a magnet, pulling the knife away, and then immediately firing it back at Kanjuro, hitting him like right in the face, almost killing him. Kind of hit him in the eye and blinded him, but Kid thought I killed him. That Momonosuke is saved, and Luffy held his hand out, but told Kid, jump as far as you can. Kid did just that, he tried to jump himself out, jumped as far as he can, and Luffy stretched his arm, overly, almost tearing it, and caught him, pulling him onto the ship. Luffy's arm is a bit bloody, but that's about it. So Chopper stitches it back up, and it's fixed for a bit. But yeah. Luffy's going to be fighting Kaido, and Kaido's a bit weaker because Onishima's in the air. So when Onishima's kind of in the air, and Kaido has to hold it up while fighting Luffy and multiple people. And this one, Luffy has a very messed up arm, so him and Kaido are both fighting on weakened terms. But still, because there's a lot of time between Onigashima and we'll start at Wano, Luffy also trained with his Conqueror's Haki coding a lot. So this fight will honestly be a fight between equals. They're both distracted and or weakened. So yeah. So this we go all the way on to seeing the strats going to Onigashima, I guess. And well, Zoro got a lot stronger. Luffy knows Zoro had Enma. We took Enma from Zoro and can hold in there. Enma being draining his like haki. First time Zoro had Enma, the rest of Zoro trained Zoro. Luffy took Enma from Zoro. And then Enma tried draining Luffy. Then Luffy used some Conqueror's Haki coding into it. And with that, well, Enma was more or less allied with Luffy now. Then Luffy taught Zoro how to do Conqueror's Haki coding, briefly, and then Zoro with Enma once he entered, once he had to fight Queen, the fight was going to begin, because Zoro went after Queen first. Not Queen, I mean King. He had to fight King, because he started the fight with King. The one the fight started, he started with him. Zoro kind of channeled Conqueror's Haki into his sword, and actually been doing it on a decent level, and slashed right at King. So yeah, the moment the fight starts with King and Zoro, and Queen and Sanji, and now it's Gin versus all the numbers, so all the giants, Gin versus all of them. Then every single one of the strats versus their respective Toby Roppo, including Jinbei, who actually was there from the start. Jinbei was just hanging out till eventually he was just in the water because he had to stay there for a bit. And Jinbei eventually did learn a few things about hockey. So yeah, but I guess there's not much else to do besides that. Yeah, so Zoro beat King a lot earlier, like half the time he did in canon. Then Sanji had beaten Queen a bit earlier than in canon because Sanji's body was a lot more developed already. So Sanji and Zoro finished the fights in half the time, allowing them to actually go back to help Luffy. Luffy, Kid, and Killer. Like basically everyone besides Zoro was up there. So yeah, Zoro eventually does join them and begins fighting against Kaido with them. And Kaido does go all out, and so does Luffy. As we're going all out, actually it ends like both of them knocking each other out as the fight had lasted for a while. Kid and Law still fought Big Mom. That ended it in the same way it does in canon, I believe. So yeah. But eventually everyone had just basically beat each other up, and it ended in standstills all across the map, tilting into the Strats versus Toby Roppo. So yes, the fights all kind of end the same way. But eventually with this, Kaido had actually been kicked off Wano and sit sail on a ship. King thought Zoro was the strongest opponent he's ever faced. And Queen was ashamed that he got beat by Sanji. So yeah. Kaido basically, that fight ended with Kaido so fast for Luffy because there was a big, not fast, it was a while, but still, for Kaido, he lost really fast. Because he was fighting his equal, who was still weakened, so was he, but he still lost. He didn't get it, but he lost. He thought he lost, but now it was a draw. Big Mom, quote unquote, lost to Kid and Law. So yeah. But basically the fights ended with either draws or straw hat victories. Once that, everyone eventually had, well, anyone related to Kaido was kicked off Wano. Orochi's killed. I think, also honestly say, like, the only deaths I think would happen, probably just Kiku. I don't think Kinemon would die, but if he does, it's for character development from Momonosuke. But I'm honestly just gonna go with like just Kiku only dying. So yeah, maybe this kind of ends the Wano arc with draws and Straw Hat KOs. Well, KOs from the Straw Hats across the map. For that, Luffy's part to say he's on Kaido's level while weakened. And that's like Momonosuke's no, Kaido was also weakened. He had to hold up Onigashima. Luffy trained for a bit till eventually we get in this part here. Yeah, he trains, and we end this part here because I'm honestly just gonna leave this what if here until the manga part for Onigashima ends. To see what's gonna happen from here on out. If you guys enjoyed, like and subscribe, comment another part. Sorry for talking so fast this part, but yeah. This what if was either too short or too long, don't care. Bye.